So, neural undertow. The unnatural data flow hides a link to the past. 1 week after Odessa's interim chief took office inside a hotel suite. While the pile over Odessa has not yet dispersed, Kalina and company are still scheduled to set out for Lviv. The group begins preparing for their journey early in the morning. Kalina's tidying up documents at her desk while Lena's hopefully from foot to foot as she packs her suitcase. Actually, I need a guarantee. Yeah, we're good. We can leave this boring old hotel last. I can't wait to head for Lviv and see the commander again. Oh, I'm sure Kaline feels the same way. Don't you, Kalina? Kalina interrupts Lviv's banter as her cheeks burn red. We're rushing to Lviv to pick up Helena ASAP. Also, your neurocloud needs an immediate deep examination for Persica. Yeah, that's our Kaline for you. Everything she does is for the job. She definitely doesn't stay up at night, gazing longingly at the map. Yep, that's our sneaky little Kaline. Whenever she thinks nobody's looking, she secretly goes commander stalking. I swear, I didn't see anything. Why you? Kalina makes towards the sisters, intent on knuckling their heads. Lena grabs Kalina's hands and Leva's arms, pulling them all into a giggling group hug. However, the light-hearted mood doesn't last for long. A sudden transmission interrupts their antics. Director? After hearing Kruger's stern voice, Kalina gestures to Leva and Lena before heading over to the floor-to-ceiling window by herself. Leva, want to go buy some Odessan souvenirs afterwards? We've got space in our luggage so we can get something for the commander. Lena kneels by a suitcase and waves merrily to Leva. However, Leva glances over to where Kalina is and lightly places her fingers on her lips in a shushing gesture. Shh. Lena gets her meaning and covers her mouth before lowering her voice. Oops, should we ask Kaylin too? She might want to buy something too. Lena looks expectantly at Leva, but Leva merely looks at Kalina and gently shakes her head. The long call is finally over some time later. Understood. I'll expedite the follow-up matters to the best of my ability. Frowning, Kalina hangs up the call at Kruger and sighs heavily. Lena sidles up to her and places a concerned hand on her shoulder. How was it, Kaylin? Can we head out? Did Kruger secretly assign us a new mission since we're heading out to Lviv? Kalina sighs and ruffles Lena's hair before turning to look at Leva. Sorry, Leva, but I don't think I'll be able to accompany you for that neurocloud module checkup. Huh? What does that mean? You mean you aren't going with us, Kaylin? Leva shrugs as though she's already anticipated this outcome. Is our dear Kaylin going to be left behind cleaning up the mess that old fox left in his wake? By order of the director? Kalina smiles bitterly. The investigation in Shep Fabin is part of it. On the surface, Zimmerman just taken the seat of interim chief. Meanwhile, the Odessa Blast government has issued several new ordinances today. As such, the director wants me to remain in Odessa as a representative of Namfa and facilitate the upcoming handover. So I'm sorry, Leva. I was planning to head out with you once today's business is settled, but given the present circumstances, I'll be spending at least 2 weeks in Odessa. What's there to be sorry for? It's just 2 more weeks. Lena and I can keep standing by. No, I'll contact Commander again about the meetup. I don't want to delay your neurocloud examination any further. Leva, I want you to head out ASAP. I'll contact Persica about this. Yep, I'm all for Leva going in for the checkup too. Besides, things in Odessa have stabilized, so I'll be enough to protect Kalina by myself. Lena happily hugs Leva. The latter simply ruffles Lena's hair with a slight smile. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm gonna stay. Huh? Leva, why? Kaylin, you should understand, right? You drew a lot of attention during the Battle of the Bridge. Even if things have calmed down for the moment, you're still a representative of Namfa. That means the number of eyes on you is only going to increase. We can't afford to lower our guard no matter what. Besides, there are still these 2 mysterious third-gen dolls to worry about. I don't think Lena could take them by herself if they decided to ambush us. Since you're not objecting, it's decided then. Let's just wait until the handover's done and then we'll all go together. That way, none of us will be left behind. But, as she looks at the worried faces in front of her, Leva suddenly bursts into laughter. Ah, come on, why are you two like this? Relax. I'm fully aware of the state of my neurocloud. The damage I took earlier won't affect my functionality. Delaying the diagnostics by a couple of weeks isn't a big deal, and I'll do my daily maintenance as well. Then you go repair to the parapod, Leva. Since there's nothing going on at the moment, Kayleen will be fine with just me by her side. Lena grabs her sister's arms to drag her away, but Leva reluctantly pulls away and places a hand on Lena's shoulder. Okay, I'll go once I finish my tasks at hand. Once everything is done, Leva returns to her room and adjusts the pod, preparing for her daily maintenance regime. However, she pauses halfway after hearing a rustling sound from behind her. Aren't you gonna come out? Upon hearing Leva, Lena pops her head out from the door and moves over to stand in front of Leva with a sheepish smile on her face. You noticed me, Leva? What are you doing being all sneaky peeky for? Got something to say? I was just thinking. After muttering to herself for a bit, Lena clenches her fists together, her courage before looking up, gathering her courage. I'm here to apologize to you, Leva. I shouldn't have kept your memory loss a secret for selfish reasons. I know how important UMP-40 is to you, but in any case, I'll never do it again. After saying that, Lena lowers her head again, as though she's prepared for a scolding from Leva. However, all Leva does is raise her hand and gently pat Lena's head. Got it. Well, since you already know what we did wrong, I suppose I'll forgive you just this once. Really? Leva? For some reason, Lena isn't cheering up beside being forgiven by Leva. Her eyes are darting around the room. While Leva doesn't quite know why Lena's feeling this way, she still picks up on her sister's uneasiness and pinches her cheeks. The Lena I know wouldn't get hung up on such small things. Or are you saying that you're still hiding something else from me? Huh? No, I'd never. Yep, I know. You wouldn't be bold enough to do bad things like that. Still, if there's nothing else, I'll be going into the pod now. Leva lets go with a smile, then turns into the repair pod. However, Lena suddenly reaches out to grab her. Leva, wait, please. Lena throws herself into Leva's embrace without any warning. Leva, could you stay for a while? I've become really happy these few days while I was with you. What's the matter, Lena? I never told Kaylin I'd be going off on my own. No, that's not. What I mean is, once your neurocloud is fixed, you'll remember. I know that she's really important to you. But I just can't help thinking that it would be nice if these days we could just keep going. Then his voice gets softer and softer. Leva can't see her face, but she senses an inexplicable unease radiating from Lena. She gently pats her back. But I'll still be here. Don't let your mind wander, okay? Yeah, I know, but I'm just worried about you. Lena nuzzles her fluffy hair against Leva's chest. A moment later, she looks up and tries her best to smile. I'm sorry, Leva. I shouldn't have let my imagination run wild. Right now, stabilizing your neurocloud is the most important thing. That means getting you into the repair pod ASAP and making sure you get all fixed up. Before Leva can reply, Lena's already pushing Leva to the pod. After hooking up Leva, Lena quickly leaves the room. As she watches Lena leave, Leva gently shakes her head. Oh, that Lena. Looks like I'll need to have a good chat with her after I'm finished my examination. And now... Leva closes her eyes and connects to level 2. In the blue environs of level 2, Leva floats lightly like she always does. System maintenance in progress. Now scanning data. Scanning data. Scan. Data scan failed. Alert. System error. Alert. System error. Employees is now following. Hello? Leva fires up the maintenance program again, but the ear-piercing warning from her neurocloud interrupts the code's functionality. System error. Operation terminated. System error. Operation terminated. Once again, Leva tries to restart the program, but the intense disruption from her neurocloud makes her body feel heavier and heavier, to the point where she can barely keep her eyes open. The weight crushes her, and Leva slowly closes her eyes. However, a strange voice seems to be approaching her from the darkness. Leva, is someone calling me? Leva, wake up. You can't fall asleep here. Hey. Leva forces her eyes open as someone violently shakes her body, and then a blurry form comes into view in front of her. Thank goodness you're awake. Quick, follow me. The indistinct figure holds out an anxious hand, trying to drag Leva along with her. However, Leva stumbles back warily. Who are you? Why are you in my neural space? A shrill alert once again derails the train of Leva's thoughts. Insufficient system memory. Computation failed. Insufficient system memory. Computation failed. Quit standing around and follow me, Leva. Otherwise it'll be too late. The indistinct figure grabs Leva and drags her forward. Over here! Unable to shake off the hand holding her, Leva's forced to run along with the mysterious figure. After running for a while, they stop in front of a small room. This place is... Wait, what is this room? Why is there something in my neurocloud which never existed? What have you done? What's going on? I can't think. Don't worry so much about that. Quick, get in. Not seeming to care about Leva's hesitation, the mysterious figure pulls her into the room. Alright, you're safe now. Wait, this is... It's a place where you can rest and get all better, Leva. The figure interrupts Leva halfway with a snap of her fingers. Click, the room's door suddenly closes. Wait. Too late. Just relax for now and have a good nap, Leva. I guarantee by the time you wake up, everything will be back to normal. As the indistinct voice fades, the floor below Leva's feet, which is composed entirely of solid data, suddenly collapses. Damn it. I can't control my body. Leva struggles as hard as she can as she falls. However, the ghostly blue data around her is like an abyss, pulling her into unfathomable depths below. Soon, Leva's form vanishes from view, and the collapsed data surface returns to normal. That should do it. The indistinct figure seems to smile. She turns and begins looking around. More and more data fragments are coming into existence in midair, and more cracks appear on the ground. It's like this already? This place is a mess. Still, that's fine too. This is the perfect chance to make a big scene. That's strange. The maintenance should have completed about half an hour ago. Why isn't Leva woken up yet? Leva! Leva! Lena pounds on the outside of the repair pod, but no matter how hard she hammers on it or tries to fiddle with its controls, the sleeping Leva does not respond. After her repeated attempts to wake Leva up meet with failure, Lena finally gives up and runs to Kaylena's suite. Kaylin, come quick. I think something's wrong with Leva. The inside of Libney's lab is quiet. The only sound that can be heard is the sound out of the repair pod. Leva is transported to Libney's lab, where Libney performs a quick examination. But any emergency measure she attempts approves ineffective. Libney immediately contacts Persica. Leva is currently lying in the repair pod, her eyes closed and unresponsive as she undergoes a remote data diagnostic. Outside it, 3 people are nervously eyeing a transmission screen that has been silent for far too long. Finally, after an almost unbearable silence has passed, Persica finally stops banging on her keyboard and stretches. Right, I get it now. Persica, what's going on? Yeah, is Leva in danger? Oi, quiet down. I can't hear Miss Persica speak. Calm down and listen to me. Persica brings up a diagram showing the condition of Leva's neurocloud. The large number of bright red alerts on the screen are quite shocking. This is the current state of Leva's neurocloud. You can see all these memory bars here. The ones that are flashing red, they're filled with junk data. Junk from redundant data. Said junk is clogging up her internal memory, which makes it unresponsive to commands. That's why Leva's not waking up. Huh? But why is that? Logically speaking, her redundant data should have been cleared away during her daily maintenance sessions. That's right, it should have been cleared away. However, this redundant data is a little special. You know there's an entity called 40, UMP-40, known as 40 from now on, in Leva's neural cloud, correct? Yep, 40 was Leva's. Well, after 40 died during Operation Butterfly, Leva simulated her personality in her base layer, using her memories of UMP-40 as a reference. Creating a virtual persona because she couldn't cope with the loss. That doesn't sound like something Leva would do. Still, Leva ultimately retained that persona. Since the additional persona eats into Leva's neural memory cloud, I configured 40 to act as a secondary computing core for Leva's neural cloud. That way, the two of them can function normally. Also, I had a dedicated data clearing program so Leva can periodically remove the redundant data generated by 40. Ah, I get it now. Normally, Leva would have done this data clearing on a regular basis, but after she was attacked by that weird doll, the royalty doll, Leva's neural cloud was damaged and she forgot about 40, as well as the fact that 40 generates redundant data. So now Leva's neural cloud is filled with redundant data, which is why she's passed out like she's blue-screened. Huh. That was a pretty accurate summation of the situation. Clever girl, Lena. Indeed. The last time Leva used the cleanup program was the day before her neural cloud was damaged. That much is consistent with my current hypothesis. Well, now that we've figured things out, the solution is simple. I'm going to use the program to clear the data and Leva should wake up soon enough. Saying so, Persica begins typing rapidly, and the cleaning program can be seen running on the screen in front of her. The group goes silent as they watch the progress bar inch forward, and Libnys carefully raises her hand. Miss Persica, there's a question I'd like to ask about what you just said. What is it? You mentioned Operation Butterfly. What was that all about? And why did Leva and 40 end up involved with it? Operation Butterfly. That's a topic that hasn't come up in a while. Why do you want to know? I heard some rumors saying that it involved Mr. Lyco, but I can't find anything about it in the records. Huh. It's been over 10 years since then, but they still keeping such a tight lid on it. A look of disgust crosses Persica's face. Simply put, it was a conspiracy designed to steal Lyco's legacy. The squad was sent in the Sangvist very main manufacturing plant, in the name of conducting an investigation. Then, Perlupivirus was released by another squad, which would rewrite the neural clouds of the dolls taking part in the operation. So Mr. Lyco's legacy was related to the OGAS system? Strictly speaking, it involves control authority over the OGAS system. In other words, it involved Alyssa, the AI that Lyco devoted his life to creating. They wanted to control Alyssa through Lyco. But Lyco died, which made Alyssa uncontrollable. Then the Perlupivirus caused the dolls taking part in the operation to end up under SF control, resulting in massive losses among the ops teams. Leva was one of the few survivors. Persica glanced towards Lena as she mentioned Leva's name. However, Lena's not really paying attention to all this. Her head is lowered as she gazes intently at Leva with a worried look on her face. Libnys, on the other hand, seems quite surprised. Miss Persica, is the Perlupivirus really that incredible? I mean, no other dolls out there use the OGAS protocol besides Leva, who refused to change her frame. It could forcibly rewrite its host OS into using the OGAS protocol, which was the cutting edge of technology back then. Mind you, that was 10 years ago. Nowadays... Persica's eyes flicker over the monitor, and then she begins typing at high speed again. Before long, she frowns. This is supposed to be a small issue. Why is it being such a pain? What's wrong, Persica? Is there a problem with Leva? It's not much of a problem, but the neural attack she was hit with earlier caused Leva's own data to get jumbled up with 40's redundant data. Now neither of them is responding, and the clearing program I'm using might end up causing additional damage to this blended data, so I've got to manually clear it away. But that's way too inefficient. The most ideal solution would be to reset Leva's OGAS system. If we get rid of 40's data, that would also remove the issues plaguing Leva's neural cloud at the source. No, you can't! Lena, who had been spacing out until just now, rushes over the screen and frantically waves her hands. Leva would never agree to getting rid of 40. Leva's already in a lot of pain after forgetting 40, and I don't want to see her suffer again. I know you say that, Lena. You're right. Leva's been so insistent on preserving her neural record of 40 over these years, she even refused to change out frames. There's no way she'd ever agree to what I suggest just now. I simply mentioned it as a possibility. Therefore, to quickly fix Leva's neural cloud malfunction, we need you, Lena. Me? I can help Leva? Yup. You are going to enter Leva's neural space and manually clear the redundant data. It's the quickest and most precise method we have. Really? What do I need to repair? I'll head out right now. Can I go, Prisca? Good girl. Just let me finish these settings first. Oh, and there's one more thing you need to do besides cleaning the redundant data. Prisca pauses. There's a rare look of uncertainty on her face. Based on the calculations from the current logs, Leva's ought to have had excess memory left over. Even after factoring in a fixed daily increase in the redundant data, she should have been able to continue functioning, which doesn't match up with how she suddenly entered her sleep mode. Are you implying there might be another problem with Leva's neurocloud? There might. Well, whatever it is. We'll only be able to tell once we check it out. I hope the worst case scenario won't come to pass. And that would be resetting Leva's OGAS system. I doubt anyone here wants that, right? So yeah, Lena has a lot on her plate. You can handle it, can't you, Lena? Prisca shoots Lena a meaningful look, but Lena seems distracted by something else and only responds when Prisca calls her name again. Eh? Huh? Of course. You're acting like a test machine that's ran out of RAM. What's on your mind? I was just thinking, since Leva forgot 40, and we don't know what happened to those neural records, then wouldn't it be terrible if something happened to that data? Acting suspicious. Well, it's hard for us to determine what's going on from the outside. Maybe it's become junk data. Maybe it's mixed up with the junk data. But either way, you'll have to take care of it once you go in there. You can take care of it, right? Of course, no problem. I'll do a good job for Leva's sake. Now then, let's go over your mission again. I'm gonna enter Leva's neurospace, clear the redundant data, and figure out the hidden reason behind her comatose state. Is that it? Yep, the entire entry program has been properly configured. Are you ready? Linda clenches her fist and then she smiles at Persica through the screen. Yep, I'm ready. Let's begin. This time, I need to protect Leva's memories of UM40. Alright, that should record it. Okay. That should have properly recorded that time, so I guess that should be okay. Embouchure of memory. This rampant memory domain is the home of the fallen. Blue is the color of calmness and rationality, a color as serene and lovely as Leva herself. That's what Leva's neurospace ought to be in Lena's memories. But right now, all she can see are ruined structures and sinister robots wandering in all directions like rogue marionettes. Multicolored data fragments floating everywhere in the space, colorful, but creepy. How did Leva's neurospace end up like this? Leva, where are you? Leva! Leva! The neural space's owner is nowhere in sight, and Lena can't help but shouting her name all around. Alerted by Lena's shouting, a pack of machines in the distance snap their head in her direction. Lena frantically cowers behind a piece of rubble and sends a transmission to Persica. Are you seeing this, Persica? What are those creepy things? Yeah, I see them. The redundant data you need to eliminate are those creepy things over there. I didn't expect it to accumulate to this extent, though. This is troublesome. Ah, then what about Leva? I don't see her anywhere. Is Leva alright? If you can't find Leva, that's probably the fault of the redundant data. I don't think she has enough processing power to respond to you. Try again after getting rid of some of that redundant data. I've already granted you the necessary permissions. Alright, I'll get to it. Oh yes, while you're clearing the data, try searching for 42. Do you know what she looks like? Yep. Leva used to have me around while she chatted with 40 NeuroCloud. I'll be able to recognize her if I see her. Good. According to the data scans, she should be nearby. She's always been in Leva's neural space, so maybe she knows what happened to Leva. You could try enlisting her help, too. The transmission ends, and Lena rises from behind the rubble, taking aim at the wandering robots. Sometime later... Phew. There really were a lot of those robots. I hope Leva's feeling better now. Still, I don't see 40 anywhere. Where is she? Lena looks around worriedly from where she's standing in front of a pile of scrapped robots. Just then, she hears another pack of robots moving nearby. Right after that, she spots a small black figure suddenly slip out from among them and run straight towards her. Huh? Isn't that... Ah, be careful! Lena quickly sidesteps and avoids the figure that's heading right for her. But when she looks up to study the newcomer, Lena is startled. The little girl is looking back at her, head tilted and a smile on her face. Still a good character design. Said this the first time I saw her an hour ago. Great character design. Creepy doll. That's exactly how you describe this. Hey, you there. Who are you? Her face is like a doll's. Her eyes are gold and exceptionally bright when contrasted against her pale white skin, to the point where their brilliance is a little scary. Lena feels a chill run down her spine as those eyes hone in on her. She unconsciously raises her gun and takes a step back. Who are you? Why are you in Leva's neural cloud? But the girl does not answer, only tilts her head. And then as the girl laughs, a pack of creepy robots suddenly charges right towards Lena. That's just great. Our broken down theme park. Void Messina, take care of us. Because you're OP. 5 out of 7 gone. By the time Lena finishes wiping out the creepy robots, the girl's already vanished. All that remains are weird robots wandering in the distance. Eh? Did she get away? Lena looks around, a concerned expression on her face. This is just too weird. Why is there a little girl in Leva's neural cloud? I've never seen her before. Could she be a transformed piece of redundant data, or is she a virus left behind by that weird doll? I'll just ask Persica. I'm sure she'll know. Lena calls Persica, but there's no response from the channel, which has been clearly up to now. It's not getting through. Did the signal get cut off? No way. Did my communicator get damaged during the battle just now? Lena carefully examines the device, but doesn't see any obvious malfunctions. I have no idea what's going on. Forget it. Maybe it's just because of the redundant data. Let's keep clearing out those robots. Lena raises her gun again. Soon she's wiped out all the creepy robots wandering around the vicinity. As her surroundings quiet down, Lena's attention suddenly drawn to a strange sound. Clack, 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 clack. What's that noise? Lena looks around for the source of the sound, and her eyes soon lock onto a pile of scrapped robots in the corner. Through the abandoned metal hulks, she can make out something struggling in there. That's where the sound's coming from. Lena looks again carefully, and she makes out a familiar face framed with light gray hair. Is that... Leva! Lena sprints over and digs through the piles of machinery, doing her best to excavate the doll pinned underneath them. Leva, what are you doing there? Leva! A sudden embrace interrupts Lena's words. Then she heard a cheerful voice thanking her. Nope, guessed wrong. But thanks so much for just now, Lena. Eh? Eh? Lena's face immediately falls. She carefully extricates herself from the hug and looks at the doll before, who looks almost like Leva before pouting. Oh, it's just 40. Oh, don't look so disappointed. I might not be Leva, but we're still sisters, right? Plus, I know that your number one concern is how Leva's doing. You are here for Leva, right? Lena's eyes immediately light up. Yep, she suddenly shut down, so I came to help Leva clear up the data in her neural cloud. 40, you and Leva shared this neural space, so I'm not sure you know where she is right now. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to communicate directly with Leva because of the redundant data, and I can't pinpoint her location either. But if you don't know what happened before this, there's nobody who knows better than me. Upon hearing this, Lena grabs 40 tightly. So what happened? Why was there an abnormal spike in the amount of redundant data? Why did Leva go into sleep mode ahead of time? And who's that weird girl? 40 senses Lena's anxiety and gently pats her hand. Calm down, one at a time. Basically, I've been monitoring Leva's neural cloud ever since I got damaged. Since she stopped talking to me ever since then. At first, I thought it was because she was busy with stuff. A week ago, I found out there was an abnormal surge in the amount of redundant data in Leva's neural cloud. I tried to ping her with an alert, but she completely ignored me. It was then that I realized that she'd forgotten pretty much everything about 40, and she'd written off my previous alert as a glitch in the system. At first, I thought it'd be okay to wait a few more days. After all, Situation Odessa took priority. Plus, Leva's neural cloud was working fine. I figured you and Kaylin would make time to deal with it. And if all else failed, there was always me. But things can spiral out of control. 40 gently touches her forehead, seemingly in regret over previous events. All that redundant data slowly fused together into weird robots and began running wild in Leva's neural space. They were aggressive, too, and they were inflicting more and more disruptions on her neural cloud. I didn't have clearing permissions, so all I could do was try my best to investigate the situation in her neural space. But then a girl suddenly appeared in her neural space, and she commanded the machines to attack me. My data protection ability was limited, and they soon surrounded me. Well, at least until you showed up. Saying so, UMP-40 flashes Lena a bright smile. So I really owe you big time, Lena. I don't know how I'd gotten away from those hunks of junk if you hadn't come to help me. Huh? Lena freezes up, then pouts in mild embarrassment. You're welcome, I guess. Anyway, I was doing this all for Leva. It's just that Perska happened to mention you were nearby, so I thought of looking you up to understand the situation. Then I'll have to thank Perska too. So what else do you want to know about Leva's situation? Oh, yeah. That's what that weird little girl. What's up with her? She ordered the robots to attack me too. Do you know anything about that, 40? I have no idea where that girl came from. However, her attack methods seem very similar to those weird robots. Maybe she was spawned from their redundant data too? Still, that's just a guess on my part. We'll need Persica to verify the details. Have you contacted Persica yet, Berlina? I did, but after fighting that rack of robots, communications with her were cut off. Like this. Lena shows 40 the empty transmission window in her communicator. I can't believe this is happening. Could this be caused by disruption from the redundant data? Huh? Junk data can mess with comms too? Yep. The data is taking up Leva's computational space, which is limited, and they're also crowding up their transmission channels used for communication. Persica just happened to have cleared away some of it when you were first sent in. That was why your transmission back then managed to go through, but the redundant data is still growing. And now her computational space has been filled up by an excess of redundant data again. Ah, I see. In that case, we better hurry up and clear out the data. We need to get in touch with Persica ASAP. Lena reaches for UM-40, but the latter shakes her head. No, I don't have clearing permission right now. If you're the only one clearing it, you won't be able to match the rate at which the redundant data keeps growing. So, what should we do? You need to start by eliminating the source of the data. The sources. What? Upon seeing that somewhat confused expression on Lena's face, 40 claps. A simple pen and paper sketch that looks suspiciously like a map appears in midair. 40 points to several big, bouncing red X's on the map and looks at Lena. Ta-da! This is what I found while scouting Leva's neurocloud. There are several abnormal data modules inside Leva's neurocloud. They're like well springs that keep generating all that unwanted data. You might be able to stop the germination process if you get rid of them first. The generation process. Also, I get the feeling that Leva might be near those sources. Really? You can sense that too? Lena looks suspiciously at the messily scribbled diagram. It looks like some kind of Voynich manuscript knockoff. Why do you have that doubtful look on your face? It's really demoralizing. It's just that the map looks really sketchy. I mean, this concerns the safety of Leva's neurocloud, so I obviously need to treat this matter seriously. We are Leva's only hope now. What if we go to the wrong place and delay her rescue? You won't go wrong. I've been in Leva's neurocloud for so long, so I know a thing or two about how it works. You know, like how sisters have a mental link? What? Are you saying sisters should have mental link? Then Leva and I... Did you say something, Lena? No, it's nothing. Oh yeah, a mental link. Of course, Leva and I have one of those, you know, mental link things. Yeah. Although I don't really feel anything right now. You're so cute, Lena. In any case, we don't have any other choice since we can't control Perska right now. So just follow my suggestions, okay? We can't afford delays given Leva's situation. Lena hesitates for a moment as she thinks about Leva and how her whereabouts are unknown. She looks into 40's sincere eyes, squeezes her communicator before finally nodding. Alright then. Now tell me where those data sources are. Alright. That's all for now. Because that's what happened last time, and I was very sad. Okay. Yeah, I got it myself. That's all good then. Wasted like an hour and a half last time. And I was like, no. Alright, 1, 2. Dreamscape blind spot, hide reality where none will see it, remain in a phantasmal dream. Click this. Before I forget to open this. Okay. So, the darkness before her is fading away, and she hears a muffled voice speaking behind her, or beside her. 40, thanks to you and 45 for your hard work. I didn't expect something like this to happen during Operation Forgetful. Yep. And thank you for your help, Kaylin. If not for you, 45 and I would probably be ash by now. You're welcome. You two were essential during this mission. In any case, just get some rest. She hears the door close, and the sound of footsteps fades away. This Kaylin has left and her surroundings are quiet again. But who's the 40? And what's this operation? Question. Her neurocloud is in chaos. Leva decides to stop thinking and pours her strength into opening her eyes. This is... Before she can finish speaking, an unfamiliar doll has already pounced on her, arms wrapped tightly around Leva. Thank goodness you're up. 45, I thought you'd never wake up. 45. Hearing that name confuses her even more. Leva gently pushes the unfamiliar doll away, and the latter releases her embrace before looking at Leva with a smile. Still, I'm relieved now that you're awake. We made it through the incident. This calls for a celebration. Leva looks doubtfully at the face before her, so similar to her own. What were you talking about just now? And what was that incident? And who are you? Huh? The familiar yet alien doll leans in closer. As her eyes go wide, she reaches out to touch Leva's forehead and studies her intently. Were you out so long that it broke something in your head? It can't be, right? We fixed all your damage. A moment later, the doll suddenly smacks her head. Ah, could it be that the data was lost? I'm 40. UMP 40. UMP 40. That name seems to spark a bitter reaction in her neurocloud. But Leva can't recall anything. None of this makes sense. What exactly is going on? Leva decides to keep probing for more information. That operation you mentioned, and that incident just now. What happened back then? It was all super dangerous. We infiltrated the plant together, but then we ended up being attacked by SF forces. I was badly damaged and almost destroyed. I told you to run first, but you said something about, "I'll never let you go," and dragged me out of there with all your strength. Fortunately, we ran into Griffin's support team. The commander saved us and brought us here for emergency repairs. My repairs finished first, but you were unconscious all this time because your neurocloud was damaged. Fortunately, again, you woke up. Otherwise, I don't know what I'd do. With the pained expression on her face, the doll slowly raises her hands and gently strokes Leva's left eye. It is then that Leva realizes that there's a scar there. Ah. This is from when you got hit by a stray bullet while we were withdrawing. Prisca said she couldn't fix it right now because she was out of the necessary parts. Did that hurt? I'm sorry. As she looks at the apologetic look on the doll's face, it triggers a strange emotional signal in Leva's neurocloud again. Before she realizes what she's doing, she spreads her arm and hugs 40 tightly. Aw, it's alright, 45. I'm really okay this time. 40 gently pats Leva's shoulder. As she feels 40's consoling touch, the abnormal emotional signal in Leva's neurocloud slowly calms down. After releasing her grip on 40, Leva looks around curiously. The clean room seems a little old, but strangely familiar to Leva. She tries searching for similar records in her neurocloud as well as details about what 40 just said. However, all she finds are vague and indistinct images. 40 seems to sense Leva's silence and sidles up to her again, a concerned expression on her face. What are you looking at, 45? The view outside the window? The sun today is great, so I opened the curtains to let it in. Is it too glaring? I'll close the curtains if it is. Yeah. Leva nods slowly, but then she reaches out to stop the other doll from drawing the curtains. It's alright. This is fine. I'd like to feel the sun myself. This is okay? Alright, you're the boss, 45. 45. Hearing that name again fills 45 with confusion. Why are you calling me that, 40? If I'm not wrong, my name is Leva now. Ah, I knew it. There was a data loss after all. Leva was an alias you used during the operation. You don't need to use anymore now that that's over. Is that so? Sure is. If you're not used to it, I'll call you 45 a few more times. 45. Used to it yet? Yeah. Look, 45. It's a really sunny day today. Ah, I love the sun so much. The gray-haired doll stretches lazily as she soaks up the sunlight. For some reason, seeing the other doll relaxing in the golden rays is strangely soothing. It seems like she's felt this laugh before, but when was that? Was it 10 years ago, or a lifetime ago? Just as 45 tries her best to recall the past, 40 suddenly grabs her with a merry expression on her face, like she suddenly thought of something. Oh yes, Griffin's holding a party to celebrate our successful rescue. All the guests are issued party dresses. That means you too, 45. Dresses? The word interrupts 45's hazy thoughts, and she looks hesitantly at 40. The latter reaches out a finger and gently strokes the bridge of 45's nose. A very pretty evening dress. I already had you measured for it. I'm sure it'll fit just fine. Thank you. You're welcome. Also, feel free to ask me anything you want. It looks like you've been hesitating this whole time and I can't take it anymore. I'm sorry. I just wanted to know. Where are we right now? We're at Griffin, of course. This is the Griffin dorm, and apart from the repair pod, you've been here all the time, 45. What about Namfa and Kaylin? Why is Kalina here? Kaylin? Are you talking about Kalina? Oh, I almost forgot. I haven't introduced you to her yet. Kaylin's commander's adjutant. Ever since the rescue operation, she's been taking care of various tasks in Griffin. She's super reliable. Still, what's this Namfa thing? I've never heard it before. Is it a management department of Sangvis Ferry Manufacturing? No, it's not. I must have remembered wrongly. UMP-45 shakes her head and avoids the other doll's searching gaze. The latter merely ruffles 45's hair and laughs in a consoling way. Don't worry, 45. Perska said that your neural cloud took a lot of damage, and some data segments might be unreadable. So you might feel a little confused right after waking up. But that's okay. It'll get better by itself after a while. So stop brooding about it on your own and come with me to the celebration party. Okay? A lot of our friends will be there. Who knows? Maybe your neural cloud will be back to normal after you see them in. And besides, if you go try on the dresses now, you might be able to get changed or altered if you don't like it. You can't do that if you're too late. The doll smiles like a tranquilizer that makes 45 smile too. She gets up and nods to her. Yeah. After hearing her reply, the other doll happily grabs 45's hands. Just as the two of them are about to step outside, the room's door suddenly flings open and another familiar finger rushes in. 45! Persica said you managed to successfully reboot you. Are you alright? Nine's here too. Before 45 can reply, 40 has already reached out to put an arm around Nine's shoulder. 45 and I were just trying to try on our dresses. Why don't you join in with us, Nine? Let's pick up something nice for 45 to wear. A dress? That doesn't suit me. Heck no. I'll make sure I choose the perfect dress for you, 45. Let's head over right now. I love this picture. It's so cool. Lena looks around as she follows 40, but the more she sees, the more she feels something's wrong here. 40, don't you think that Leva's neural cloud looks really weird right now? Huh. Does it? Of course it is. Those fallen tables, chairs, and umbrellas, the burst balloons, and these electric lights without power. None of them look like they belong in Leva's neural cloud, don't you think? Now that you mention it, that does seem a little weird. 40 comes to a halt and closely studies the colorful facilities amidst the ruins. The neural space's interior looked normal before it was attacked. Is this because of the redundant data's influence? It's probably more than a simple influence. Now that I looked at them, it looks like this place was deliberately modified to look like an amusement park. See? Look at that pointy tent over there that's full of holes. It's a carousel, isn't it? I don't think Leva would ride a carousel on a neural cloud for no reason, especially when the carousel has such creepy horses. Lena reaches out and gestures to a pointy tent in the distance. 40 looks where she's pointing. Although the conical tent is in tatters and the carousel horses are eaten through with rot, it's definitely a carousel. Countless data fragments float in the dark sky above the tent, slowly spinning in midair like a windstorm. That definitely doesn't look like something Leva would like. Perhaps that girl altered the neural space? After all, human kids like amusement parks. That said, this carousel looks really weird too. Why are there so many robots around it? Huh? 40 focuses on the windstorm, brings up her diagram, and then suddenly grabs Lena's hand in surprise. Lena, come with me. That carousel is the first data source we've been looking for. Once you get rid of it, we can stop the redundant data in this sector from growing. 40 drags Lena over to the carousel, but almost immediately she hears a loud crash in the distance. The light strip encircling the carousel turns on, barely managing to light up the surroundings. And so, Lena and UM40 get a clear view of the slowly moving robot horde around the carousel. In addition, they see a little girl pull the switch on the carousel, trying to command the robots to play with her. Spinny horsey, I like it. Everyone come play with me. The girl mounts one of the carousel's horses and happily flails her arms. However, the dilapidated horse does not move and the surrounding robots can only approach her fruitlessly, jostling each other. After waiting stiffly for a while on one of the horses, the girl hangs her head in dejection. Horsey broke. Nobody wants to play with me either. Huh? Suddenly, the girl looks up and scans her surroundings, as though she's noticed something. New friend? Well, did she spot us? Before 40 can reply, the girl's already jumped down from her horse and studies the visitors in the distance with wide eyes. New friends, play with me. The girl excitedly runs towards the two of them. Behind her, the countless robots surrounding the carousel pour towards the dolls, as though a floodgate had been opened. I guess kids really do like amusement parks after all. Lena, I'll let you clear away all that surplus data. Leave it to me. Feels like it's been forever since the last time I fought beside you, Lena. Yep. Let's ride this source of the data together. If you're having a hard time, just leave it to me. Don't push yourself too hard, okay? It doesn't take long for Lena to clear out the robots surrounding the carousel. After seeing that the guardian robots are gone, the little girl nervously hides behind a carousel horse and shakes her fist at 40 and Lena. You chased everyone away. You're bad. I hate you. I'm not playing with you. Lena, quick. We need to catch her. 40 frantically beckons Lena over, but before Lena can approach, the girl's already darted away, racing off like a frightened rabbit. She's gone. How does she run that fast? Never mind, we'll get a chance to catch her eventually. The most important thing right now is to get rid of the after effects of the data source. Look over there, Lena. 40 happily pats Lena on the shoulder. Lena looks around and her eyes go wide with surprise. As the robots vanish, the darkened sky turns a clear blue, and the data fragments floating in the air vanish like melting snowflakes. The previously ruined carousel is restored to pristine condition, strings of colorful lights adorning its canopy and pillars, sparkling brightly around the multicolored carousel horses. Wow. I guess it would be okay for Leva to play around with a carousel like this on our break. It looks like a really nice carousel. Want to give it a try, Lena? 40 approaches the carousel and studies the control panel with curiosity. Then she pulls down hard on the activations lever. Wait, 40, wait careful. Before Lena can finish, the carousel starts moving slowly. A warm and cheerful melody fills the air, in tune with the whirling of the carousel horses and the sparkling of the lights. Amidst the music and the lights, a segment of neural records slowly comes into view before Lena's eyes. The gray-haired doll is standing by the firing range, her head hung low in dejection. Another gray-haired doll walks over and waves merrily to her. Hi there, newbie. Commander, greetings. Cut out the formality. Come sit down. And do I look like a commander? Never got that before. Don't tell me. You're also a T-doll? Is it weird? Maybe I'm too expensive. That's pretty much the only good thing about me. Anyways, I'm a new recruit just like you. Guess we'll have to take care of each other. Sure. And thank you. No biggie. We're companions, so we have to cheer each other up. The cheerful doll smiles as she sits down on the bench beside the range, graciously consoling the doll who's feeling down because of her poor shooting scores. Your posture, reflexes, and accuracy all show that you don't have any advanced fire control system installed. That's why you must not force something that you physically can't do. Don't take it too seriously. There must be a job where you can make use of your strength here. Sorry, but haven't you figured out yet? I'm just as useless as you. Here, check our imprinted weapons. Our clouds may have been wiped, but we're the products of the same hapless factory. Really? Then you also? That's right. I too have a bunch of weird electronic warfare modules installed for whatever reason. So I can't hold a gun properly either. But what a coincidence that I ran into you while I was just strolling around. I'm 40, your elder sister by name and by fate. so I'll be sure to have your back. As the music lights fade, so does the scent that Lena's watching, the scene. The firing range filled with merry laughter is now empty. The lights die, and the carousel horses slowly grind to a halt. The dolls fade away like waking dreams, leaving only a single bullet lying quietly on the ground. Before Lena realizes what she's doing, she's already bent down to pick it up. What I saw just now, was that Leva? I mean, was that 45 and the real 40? Yep, that's what happened the first time they met. Leva looked totally different from how she is now. I'd never seen her like that before. She was like a totally clueless rookie. Just like how I was when she first met me. No, she was even more timid than me. What happened to Leva to make her like she is now? She was already different by the time she met me. Was that because of 42? Confused, Lena turns to look at 40 beside her. As a simulated persona patterned after the real 40, her face and expressions are almost the same as 40's from the neural records. Did Leva change because of 40's encouragement? Kind of. In that case, did Leva become what she is now because 40 disappeared? The simulated 40 persona does not reply, but her silence is answer enough. The reason why 40 is so important to Leva is because of the past, which is forever beyond her reach. I knew it. No wonder I can't compare to 40. After all, it was 40 who supported Leva when she needed him most. Lena unconsciously hangs her head, but a cheerful voice cuts through her dejected thoughts. Right, enough playing back these records. You look more depressed than 45 did back then, Lena. But 40 cheerfully taps Lena's shoulder, then points to the bullet in Lena's hand. I actually have some good news about Leva. Want to hear it? Huh? Do you still remember how Leva forgot about 40? Thing is, we both saw those records just now. That proves the neural records about Operation Butterfly and 40 aren't actually lost. Those records were lost among the redundant data after they were damaged. That's the reason why Leva forgot about it. Therefore, if we clear the data quickly, Leva might be able to get those memories back quickly too. Really? I think so. In that case, Leva will. Lena, can you hear me? The sudden call interrupts their conversation. Lena looks down and sees that long, silent communicator is finally blinking with an incoming transmission. Persica! Oh, thank goodness, the signal's finally back! Lena, have you found 40? How are things on your end? Lena quickly describes the current situation to Persica. I can't believe something like that happened. And there was a weird little girl, too. Now that's interesting. Oh yes, let me examine that bullet you found. Analysis complete. I figured it out. This bullet contains the neural records from the first time Leva met 40. In that case, the situation is exactly like what I guessed. Earlier, when that mysterious doll attacked Leva in the Gerard server room, she didn't directly destroy the information about the butterfly incident in 40. Rather, she just destroyed the resource headers which pointed it to the information. Therefore, Leva technically hasn't forgotten 40, because all the forgotten files are still in the mess that is Leva's neural cloud. If you keep cleaning up the junk data away and fixing the loopholes in Leva's neural cloud, you'll be able to find these fragmented neural records and put them back together again. See, Lena? Turns out it was like that all along. Lena, what are you... Beside her, Lena's grabbing her head in frustration. Hey, I just saw part of Leva's past that she didn't want to discuss with me. Does that count as violating your privacy? What if Leva finds out? What if she gets mad? Come on, you're her beloved little sister. There's no way she'd be that petty. Really? But Leva never told me about 40 before. Is it really okay for me to keep watching these records? Lena looks a little uneasy as she scratches her head. Right now, resolving the malfunction in Leva's neural cloud takes priority. Yep, you might not want to do it, but you've got no choice. Don't worry, Lena. If Leva does get mad, I'll speak up for you, so don't worry. 40 pats Lena's shoulder in a counseling manner. Yeah. Thank you, 40. I know what you're getting at. While I've always wanted to hear Leva tell me about that in her own words, her safety is the most important thing right now. I'll do my best to clear the data no matter what stands in my way. Lena nods, and then she clenches her fists tightly as though to reaffirm her own resolve. So, what should we do next, Persica? Keep searching for the data source with 40. It's the most efficient solution we have. I've already compiled the statuses of the data sources I can detect into a new map that I'm sending you now. You can consult it for your future movements. That's great. This map is way more accurate than my hunches. Well done, Persica. Let's head out right now. Calm down. You should take this too. The sound of keys clinking is audible over the transmission's audio feed. When the clinking stops, a small object falls from the sky and hits Lena squarely in the forehead. Ow! Oh, hey, what's this? Curious, Lena studies the strange object in her hand. It's a small device that looks a lot like an emitter of some kind. Not only is it a lurid color, there are two incredibly distinctive buttons on it. Lena presses the first button, but nothing seems to happen. What the heck? Is it broken? The tracking program isn't active yet, so the button isn't functional. Try the other one. Lena presses the other button. Ding! There's a bitter scent, and then a brown beam extends from the emitter's front pot. This smells like... Is that coffee? Oh, it even feels like coffee. Doesn't having a coffee go perfectly with visiting an amusement park? This signal emitter is a tracking program I custom wrote just now. A tracking program. Yep. Didn't you mention encountering a weird girl earlier? The next time you see her, tag her with the emitter. This tracking program will automatically attach itself to her data and analyze it. Once the analysis is complete, we'll know what created her. Hit the other button and you'll be able to track her location. It sounds pretty useful, but it's still pretty twisted. Anyway, if there's nothing else, 40 and I will be heading out. Leva's still waiting for us. Actually, there's one more thing. 40. Do you feel like you're being affected by the redundant data? Huh? Me? All that useless data takes up Leva's computational space, which affected comms between Lena and me. Since you were always resident in her neural space, you're kind of... I'm fine. Don't worry about me, Persica. I'm running just fine. I'm not feeling any interference at all. Interference. Well, in that case, just focus on clearing the data first. Once the amount of redundant data reaches a certain level, new data will overwrite the old. Lena, you need to keep that from happening, otherwise you'll never be able to recover Leva's neural records. Got it. Lena nods earnestly to Persica, then she turns to look into the distance of the neural space. I'll make sure I keep Leva safe.
这不过是理应出现的结果。很遗憾，您没有再次尝试的机会。
The gallows light blurs the boundary of time. Dun, dun, bum, bum. As night falls, 40 and 9, both dressed in evening gowns, escort 45 to the ballroom. Yep, I knew this purple dress would be perfect on you, 45. Oh, that reminds me. If you never saw it, I was looking at this last time, briefly. Shop. Outfit boutique. It is this one. This is the purple dress. Ta-da! Giant bow. Weird cuts on the sides. One in the back, just one huge one on the side. That looks pretty cool though. Stories. It's just that you look great in anything, 45. Yeah. 45 smiles faintly after hearing the two of them praise her. The smooth purple silk feels very familiar, and it makes 45 feel nostalgic, but also a little suspicious. Has she ever worn a dress like this one before? However, each time she tries to remember the past, her neurocloud grows indistinct. like misted glass, especially when she tries to recall details about that operation. Why are you spacing out? 45, shouldn't we be heading in? Hang on. 45 grabs 40 as the latter is about to enter the party venue. 40, can you give me a couple minutes? I have some things I want to ask you about that mission. What do you want to know, 45? From what I remember of that operation, only you and I took part, 40. Why was the commander there? And my neurocloud? Now why are the two of you standing at the doorway like scarecrows? Is someone's neurocloud so badly damaged that they're too scared to step through a door? Before 45 can finish, a cold voice interrupted her question. 45 turns and sees the owner of the voice. It is a long-haired doll with a cold demeanor who's sizing her up with an even icy look in her face and her eyes. Besides the doll is a white-haired doll who's also wearing a dress. Her eyes are closed and almost slumber, and she's wobbling on her feet, as though she's going to keel over and curl up on the floor at any moment. Well, it's better to have gotten neurocloud damage than not be allowed to take part in the operation at all. Isn't that right? This is strange. The doll's face is very familiar, but 45 can't recall her name. Just as 45 frowns while thinking, the closed door to the venue hall suddenly opens and Kalina steps out. 404 is here too. Kalina greets the white-haired doll in a familiar way and smiles at the three UMPs. I haven't introduced them to you yet, 40. These two are elite dolls from Squad 404, 416 and GRG11. Squad 404 provides covert support for operations, and they took part in this operation. It was thanks to their help that you and 45 were saved. Also, after the operation ended, Squad 404 officially accepted employment from Griffin, and they've joined us. It's very likely that they'll form a new team with you and 45 for future ops. I invited them here today to take the opportunity to inform everyone about the news. After Kalina finishes her introduction, 416 looks at 45 and raises her chin arrogantly. Do you understand now? It's not like 404 are trash who don't deserve to set foot on the battlefield. Still, you don't need to thank us for helping. After all, protecting the weak teammates is part of an elite doll's duties. Was that really what happened? 45 eyes Kalina and 416 suspiciously. For some reason, the way they were talking just now filled 45's heart with a strange sense of wrongness. However, 40 doesn't seem to be affected at all and instead smiles brightly at them. So that's how it is. Then I need to thank 416 and GRG11. If not for you, 45 and I would really have been done. Since we're going to form a new team together, I'll just wish us all the best in becoming the most cohesive and well-coordinated team. You don't need to wish for it. It's a foregone conclusion. Faced with 40's dazzling smile, the white-haired doll pulls away in a somewhat unnatural way. After that, she grabs the other doll who's already snoring loudly on the ground and strides into the venue. Before she leaves, the white-haired doll turns back one last time and fixes 45 with a cold stare. Just remember, since you have a neurocloud damage, you should take some time to get to your frame in order instead of rushing back to the battlefield. 404 isn't going to come save you again if you end up dragging your teammates down. With that, the white-haired doll drags GRG11 away. 40 lightly slaps 45's shoulders as though she guessed the latter's thoughts. 416 might have an acid tongue, but this is her way of showing concern. Is that so? Do you know her from before, 40? No, this is also my... Well, I just heard about her from 9. Isn't that right? 9 smiles and hugs 45 before nuzzling her. Yep, 416 has always been awkward. Don't take what she said to heart, 45. Alright, 45-9, it's time we went in. That's enough standing around like dorks for now. Yep, I'm sure there's lots of delicious grub in there. I can smell it already. 40 and 9 each grab 45's arms and push her into the venue hall. Inside the lively venue hall, 45 sits down on the one side of a spacious sofa, enjoying delicious food with the dolls around her. There's already a huge pile of food on the table before her, but 9's still running excitedly back and forth across the hall, setting down new dishes in front of 45. Wow, this is good too. Try some, 45. Yep, and this drink is really yummy. Have a glass, 45. Everyone was really worried when we heard you got hurt during the mission. How do you feel now, 45? Are you alright? Well, don't force yourself if you're not feeling well. Thank you, everyone. Dolls are milling back and forth inside the venue hall. From time to time, people approach 45 to greet her or speak to her. Someone has started a board game in the center of the hall. It draws the attention of many people, including 9, who runs over excitedly. As she watches the bustling hall, 45 is slowly infected by the lively mood in the air. She leans against the sofa and slowly relaxes her body, allowing herself to sink into its softness. Maybe this isn't so bad. I love stretching. While her neurocloud is a little confused and some of the data doesn't conform exactly to what she knows, everyone is very nice and she has 9 and 40 to keep her company. As the thought crosses her mind, 45 looks to her side. Sensing 45's gaze, 40 raises her glass of fruit juice and flashes her a winning smile. After that, 40 suddenly waves in front of her. Kalina, who's wearing a suit, approaches and sits down beside the two of them. She raises a hand and gently ruffles 45's hair. How do you feel, 45? Not too noisy for you? Is it? Your neurocloud was only fixed just recently, after all. Kalina's smile reassures 45. However, as she looks at Kalina's professional-looking suit, a strange feeling rises inside 45's neurocloud again. Is Kalina supposed to look like this right now? But if not, then how should she look? She's remembering the present Kalina. 40 feels like she ought to know, but she can't find the right records in her neuroclouds. In the end, 45 decides to set these unexplainable doubts aside for now. Thank you for asking, Colleen. This place is quite lively, and it's very relaxing. Perfect for a patient like me. Also, I need to thank Griffin and 404 for supporting us during this operation. You don't need to thank Griffin or me. 40 is the real hero here. Kalina looks at 40 across 45 and smiles. If 40 hadn't managed to shake off the control of the virus and kept it from spreading, the Griffin dolls would have been in greater danger. You probably wouldn't have made it out safely. The virus? What's that? Just weird noises or nothing. Colleen? What did you say just now? Kalina's voice seems to fade into indistinct static, and 45 can't make out what she's saying. She unconsciously grabs Kalina's arm, but before she asks further, Kalina's already changed the topic. Speaking of which, 40 and 45, I've got some good news for you. Oh? What other surprises do you have hidden up your sleeve, Colleen? We all think that coming back safely from that operation was an incredible feat. Therefore, in order to celebrate your safe return as a reward for 40's contribution to Griffin, the commander has decided to give you both a special reward. A month-long super vacation. A super vacation? That's a month long? Wow. 40 hugs 45 and begins jumping around in excitement. Hey, does that mean 45 and I can go on a holiday? What? Did someone say holiday? 9, who was playing a board game off to the side, hears the commotion and excitedly squeezes over. Are you going on a holiday at 45? 40? Can I come? 9 looks eagerly at Kalina, but Kalina merely smiles and ruffles her hair. I'm sorry, but I have other work for you, 9. Aww. Alright then, if you're going to go on a holiday at 40, make sure you take a lot of pictures and share them with me when you get back, 45. Don't you worry, 9. We'll take pictures extra for you too. Won't we, 45? Yeah, we will. So, have you decided where you'll be going for the holiday, 40? Do you even have to ask? We'll be going to the sea, of course. The sea. Upon hearing that word, 45's smile freezes on her face. Perhaps a long, long time ago. What's wrong, 45? I remember that a long time ago, someone once told me about the sea. That person said... Ah, that was me. Annoyed, 40 throps 45 on the shoulder. I told you that after we finished a training session a while back, I said I wanted to go on a holiday to the seaside and soak up the sun. Did you forget, 45? Did you? I can't find those records in my neurocloud. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it can't be helped since the neurocloud was damaged. Maybe that memory was among the damaged bits. Ah, that's right. Tell me about your vacation plans, too. I can't possibly be the only one who had the idea of going to the seaside, right? Holidays don't come by often, after all. What about you, 45? What do you want to do during your time off? Yeah, a month is a long time. What do you have in mind, 45? Me? Confronted by 40's and Kalina's smile, 45 can't help but think. If it were me. The party's still going strong in the venue hall, but 45 is discussing her vacation plans with the other two people in front of her. However, the lights overhead grow brighter and brighter, while the music playing over the hall's audio system grows louder and louder, turning into a melody that's familiar to 45. The lights are so bright now that they've almost washed out 40's and Kalina's face. In this blinding field of white, she sees indistinct figure once again. 45, it's time for target practice. Yep. The indistinct figure radiates the soothing scent of sunlight. 45 nods and reaches out to it. Huh? 45, what's wrong? The light and music suddenly fade away and the indistinct figure vanishes. 45 finds herself holding on tightly to 40's hands. 45, are you alright? Do you want to go back to Persica for checkup? No, there's no need for that. I'm fine. I just thought of something I wanted to tell you all of a sudden. 45 lets go and lightly shakes her head. You and 40 are so close. Of course we are. My 45 is my sister, after all. We're each other's most important person, right? 40 laughs cheekily as she pats 45's head, then leans on her shoulder. Record load error. Please reload. Record load error. Please reload. Please reload. Her neurocloud seems to be generating a continuous, uninterruptible string of errors. However, 40's and Kalina's smile in front of her are as warm as they ever were. To the point where it feels like the good times will last forever, she returns them with a smile of her own. 45 ignores the errors in her neurocloud with a smile, leaning back onto 40's shoulders. Yeah. 40 and I were the best sisters ever. Backtrace 2. Revisit the source where the cracks and fog intertwine. Where's my water? There you are. So gunshots and Lena's attacks caused several of these crappy dolls formed from redundant data to vanish into the fog that fills the amusement park. Segment after segment of indistinct neural records flicker into existence in front of Lena's eyes and then vanish. Boom! After barely dodging the ordnance exploding around her, 45 immediately spins around and launches an elbow strike, dropping the approaching enemy to the ground. Meanwhile, the assault on her neurocloud is still going on. 45 is forced to weave through the ruins, looking for a safe corner where she can bring her computational power to bear. These enemies seem pretty tough. Need a hand? One body isn't enough for two neuroclouds, is it? You can skip the thoughts and prayers. Hey, I'm just trying to cheer you up. In any case, let me know if you don't have enough processing power, okay? Yeah, thanks. Under the somewhat dim light, Leva looks down at the brand new name card in her hand. Leva. Affiliation. Non-Military Forces Administration. You got a new name and a new identity. How does it feel to say goodbye to 404? Like a weight's been lifted off from her shoulders. I finally managed to dump that huge burden onto her. You don't need to keep it from me, you know. I know exactly what you're thinking. Relax, it's just a change of leadership. I know how much 404 means to you. I'm sure she and Lena will understand. Yeah, leaving 404 to her, that was the right choice. Oh, she's gone. Lena reflexively reaches out to touch Lena in the fragment, but it completely vanishes before she can make contact. Disappointed, she lowers her hand and turns to look at 40. Are these really things that happened to you and Leva in the past? Inside a neural cloud? Mm-hmm. Every single one. The first scene must have taken place in a battle. I can't believe Leva could chat so casually with you in such a tense situation. Leva was actually really nervous back then, but the talking helped her calm down. It was the same when she was leading 404. She was really concerned about everyone in 404, but she had to take a step back for the sake of her ultimate goal. It was the right choice to make, but not an easy one, so I should try to show my support at least. As she listens to 40 state all of these in a matter-of-fact way, Lena's head drops into dejection. I'm a horrible person. While I'm Leva's sister in name, the truth is that she's the one who's always taken care of me. But when Leva truly needed my support, I didn't notice at all. I couldn't help her. Don't say that. Leva is always happy and relaxed when she was around you. Was she? But I don't want to become someone Leva can rely on. Well, you do know that there are some things only you can do, right? For example, you can always help her with communications and support. Also, you can provide her with help when Leva's in an emergency situation, like what you're doing just now. She does really rely on you quite a bit, you know. Huh? Really? Leva relies on me? Lena's head suddenly snaps up. 40 chuckles as she sees the expectant look in Lena's eyes. Of course she does, and it's not just right now either. She's been doing that for a long time. Remember when your neurocloud core got damaged? Oh man, she went totally ballistic. She might not have said it out loud, but she most definitely cares about you. Leva. As she thinks back on the past events, Lena gently balls up her fists and nods vigorously. Yeah, you're right. 40, since Leva has so much faith in me, I can't let her down. I need to do my best. Let's keep on going. Our next destination is... Let me check the map. The map, which ought to be displaying location of data sources, is currently shrouded in thick fog, reduced to grainy static. The map is not showing anything? Is it a data error? Can I take a look? Forty takes the map from her, but despite flipping, spinning, and otherwise manipulating it, nothing happens. Upon seeing this, Lena opens a comm channel to Perska. This is weird, I'll just ask Perska directly. Hey Perska, are you seeing this? However, the only thing she hears over the channel is a busy tone. The communications panel on the screen does not respond no matter what Lena does. How could this be happening? Is comms down too? Is redundant data jamming up computational space again? Why now of all times? Looks like the redundant data is accumulating faster than expected. Fortunately, I can roughly sense the location of the data sources. It isn't as accurate as what Perska can do, but it's still usable. I guess that's their only choice. Still, we need to hurry to make it to the time lost by not having enough information. Shh. 40 suddenly makes a hushing gesture. Something's approaching us. Ding, 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 ding. As the noise approaches, countless creepy robots step out of the fog and loom into view. I can't believe there's so many of them. It doesn't matter. I was going to wipe you all out anyways. Yep, I'll help too. Do-do. There's boy Messina, destroying half of the map instantly. Turn 0 power. Lena weaves nimbly through the robot encirclement as she fights. Less talking, more dodging, 40. The number of robots here is increasing. Sorry about that, but I don't have clearing permissions, do I? I'm trying to draw the enemies away from you. 40 points at several small shapes among the robot's horde from where she's hiding behind a piece of cover. The Goliaths are moving among the robots and distracting them under 40's commands. They might not be able to do much damage, but they're messing with the battle situation up, at least. Over here, over here! 40, are you sure they're doing any good? All these robots are still chasing me. Lena points behind herself, where one of the Goliaths 40 sent out briefly draws the robot's attention. But they soon change targets back to Lena. Why are they doing that? Lena looks over at 40, who has only just realized what's going on, and shrugs helplessly. Looks like it's up to me after all. I've got an idea. 40, work with me here. Having just shaken off her pursuers, Lena suddenly turns around and plunges back into the robot swarm. The robots pivot to follow Lena's movements. Meanwhile, she nimbly leaps on top of a Goliath that 40 is steering. The robots gather around the Goliath, but just as she's about to be fully surrounded, Lena jumps in the air again and yells, 40, blow it! Boom! Following the loud explosion, the robots attempting to surround her are blown to bits. Lena raises her gun and engages the remaining ones, cutting them all down in a hail of gunfire. Despite quickly eliminating the robots, Lena doesn't stop. Instead, she sprints towards another Goliath. 40, over here. Got it. Thanks to Lena and UMP-40's coordinated efforts, the creepy robots surrounding them are soon wiped out. As she watches the countless fragments disappear, 40 skips over excitedly. Well done, Lena. That was truly a brilliant plan. It was just a flash of inspiration. Leave us the truly amazing one. But you were amazing too. Saying so, 40 smiles and raises her fist, waggling it at Lena. What's this for? Well, we gotta celebrate our first joint victory at the fist pump. Huh? A very similar scene overlays itself on what she's seeing. A long time ago, beside a firing range, it seems a pair of dolls encourage each other in a similar manner. Lena takes in 40's sunny smile and extends her own hand, bumping against 40's. Here's to a jolly cooperation. Yep, nice working with you. She can feel a warm sensation through her touched knuckles. As Lena withdraws her hand, she can't help but smile. Didn't Leva do this with you in the past? I feel like I've gotten a little closer to Leva now. Sure did. It's how we cheered each other on. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, it feels like Leva's here right now. For some reason, I feel totally full of energy. 40 happily squeezes her fists and looks around. Suddenly, she claps her hands in surprise. Hey, it seems the fog's cleared up by quite a bit. Lena, let's go. Yep. Lena nods, but just as she's about to follow 40, something comes to mind. Oh, right. Don't you think that something was weird just now, 40? What do you mean? You were doing your best to distract the enemy during the battle just now, but the robots are all focused on me as though they knew I was the real fighter. Are those data monsters really that discerning? Now that you mention it, that does seem pretty strange. Let me think. Ah, I've got it. Maybe it's because I'm part of Leva's neural cloud data, too? Maybe these machines regard me as an ally. After all, I am basically a huge source of redundant data. Still, that's just a guess on my part, since we can't confirm it with Perska. However, we can try observing the movements of robots in upcoming battles, and if it really is the case, we can put that plan of yours to good use. Yep, that's right. I'll pay more attention to that going forward. Ah, one more thing. 40 grabs Lena with a somewhat apologetic look on her face. I couldn't help much in the battle just now because I didn't have clearing permissions. After all, Leva used to clear that data by herself, and I never asked for it. Because I was afraid of deleting data she wanted to keep. But things are different now. At this rate, it'll just end up affecting the recovery of Leva's neural cloud. So please request temporary permission from me once you can contact Perska again. That way, I'll be able to help you in the battle. Sounds like a plan. Still, that's only if Perska gives the all clear. It would be really bad if they deleted Leva's data by accident. Of course, and besides, I'll be relying on you until I'm allocated those permissions. I'll help you cover you though. Yep, leave it to me.
这不过是理应出现的结果，但遗憾，您没有再次尝试的机会。
Is this the second data source? We're back at the Ferris wheel. 40 stops by a set of ruins. Lena stops as well and surveys her surroundings. The creepy fog is still in the air, along with the data fragments. A twisted, towering steel frame is faintly visible through the drifting fog. Is that a Ferris wheel? Why is it so chilly here? Maybe we should call it a Scaris wheel instead? That's a painful pun. Scaris wheel. I mean, the queue is filled up with these weird robots. Hey, look, that girl's there too. 40 points at the center of the robot horde. A petite black form is sitting in a half-open gondola, idly kicking her legs and singing quietly. La 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 la. Her ethereal voice drifts on the wind. I can't make an ethereal voice, so I'm not even gonna bother trying. The countless robots surrounding her contort their body in time with her song, as though they were dancing to the melody. However, the stiff contortions of these steel beasts don't add on a air of warmth to the scene. Instead, they just make this entire scene that much more bizarre. Ew, that's just gross. It looks like those data monsters are actually obeying her. Yeah, that's totally not suspicious at all. Where did she come from anyway? Why don't we go figure that out right now? You've got that whatchamacallit, right? That doodad? That emitter that Perska gave you, right? Something that a particular mermaid would like to gather whatchamacallits? Yep. Lena takes out the emitter and hands it to 40. Huh. You're giving it to me? The robots we met along the way didn't attack you, right? That means you've got a better chance of getting through them and getting to the girl. I'll help you draw out the robots while you go in. Oh, I see. That's really smart, Lena. 40 accepts the emitter and the two of them carefully circle around the ruins as they move towards the girl. Lena suddenly comes to a halt when they're about 10 meters away from the outer edge of the robot crowd. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. And with that, Lena opens fire as she rushes towards the gathered robots. Hee-ah! Over here, you rust buckets. Drawn by the gunfire, the robots promptly surge towards Lena. With the robots' ranks greatly thinned by Lena's distraction, 40 takes the opportunity to dash towards the girl. However, the girl seems to have texted her beforehand. She ignores Lena's attacks and runs straight towards 40, and then she throws herself at 40. Yay! 40 frantically stumbles back. Then she sees the girl tilt her head in confusion. She points to herself, and then at 40. Family, we play, okay? 40 goes stiff. When she notices 40's confusion, the girl raises her again and points at Lena. That one, she's bad. Let's beat her up together. I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're saying. Come with me. Play with me. Beat her up with me. With me. The girl walks towards 40, her long hair dragging on the ground. As she looks into those golden eyes, 40 stumbles back into panic, as though she's forgotten the entire reason she came here in the first place. Lena, who's distracted the robots, soon senses something is wrong. 40, she's not moving. Did something happen to her? 40 isn't moving, even as more and more robots gather behind her. Lena can't avoid turning around, which draws the robots towards the girl, and then she shouts at 40. Hey, 40, you alright? Push the button, quickly! Startled by this distant voice, 40 vigorously shakes her head, then takes a step back before raising the emitter and pushing the button. Ding. The dark brown beam soaks into the girl's dress, forming a flower-shaped pattern. As the brown color spreads, silver rays of light shine, turning the girl's body vaguely translucent. The girl stumbles back in panic. Then her head jerks up, her eyes are wide as she glares at 40, her hands flailing angrily. Oh, you're with her. You're bad too. I don't want to play with you anymore. Beating time. Wait, I'm not. The girl doesn't wait for 40 to reply and stomps the ground in frustration. In response, the ground begins to shake violently. 40, what's going on? I don't know either. 40 and Lena look around nervously. A huge shadow is moving within the swirling clouds of dust that are everywhere. Something big is coming. After a long battle, Lena is ultimately unable to stop the huge robots from closing in. As Lena runs away from it, she twists back to open fire. However, even the hail of lead she lays down doesn't slow it in the least. Damn it. Just how am I supposed to scrap this big hunk of junk? Where's his core? Is it in the test? Or... There's cover over here. This way. 40 calls Lena over as she struggles to find a usable passage amidst the ruins. As Lena runs, she turns back to look at the huge robot every so often. Maybe it's on the top of its head? Lena rapidly scales the pile of rubble that happened to be in front of her. Leveraging its height, she launches herself at the towering machine. Alright, got it, there it is. While holding onto the robot's flailing arms, Lena flips through the air and lands neatly on its massive shoulder. Right after that, a hail of bullets rain down on the machine's core. However, they only leave a few small dents on its thick outer casing. The huge robot inside seems angered by Lena's attacks and begins shaking itself violently. Rah! As the robot twists itself back and forth, Lena is almost sent flying. She is forced to hang on for dear life to protrusion on the robot's shoulder. Here it comes again. Look out, Lena. The robot begins twisting around again and brings its massive steel arm down on Lena's location. Unable to escape in time, Lena is forced to try and slip between the joints of his shoulders to avoid being squished. Lena! Hang in there, I'll try and think of something. 40 looks around frantically. Several Goliaths are moving between the rubble, trying their best to hold off the attacking robots. Right, I'll go with that. Come on, boys, this way. 40 snaps her fingers and rushes towards the giant robot's feet. It raises a foot to try and stomp on her, but 40 deftly evades and rushes towards the other's legs. The Goliaths follow 40 and rush into the robot. Giant robot is one, completely surrounding it. And now, 3, 2, 1, bang. Several explosions erupt at once. The giant robot shakes violently as countless parts begin falling off from its body. Lena takes advantage of this brief respite to jump down from her shoulders and disappear into the nearby rubble. Rah, rah. Without a target to attack, the giant robot turns around in confusion. A moment later, it leisurely strolls off back into the fog. Phew, are we safe? After seeing the giant robot leave, Lena gets up and looks for 40. When the Goliaths went off just now, she clicked too fast. She clearly saw 40 being slowly blown away into the distance by the explosion's shockwave. Sure enough, she soon finds 40 face down in a pile of rubble. 40! Lena rushes over to help 40 up, brushing away the dust covering her body. Are you okay? With Lena's help, 40 slowly gets back up. I'm fine. What do you mean fine? Just look at you. The shrapnel's cut you up. You're hurt everywhere. Pfft. 40 can't help but reach out to pat Lena in a soothing way. I'm fine. These are all just simulated reflections of data damage. It's okay. It'll all heal up in a bit. But that's way too risky. What if you get damaged in a way that doesn't heal up? Leva would be sad if anything happened to you. She'd be so hurt. Ah! 40 raises her hand and flicks Lena on the forehead. Leva would be sad if you got hurt too. And besides, You're one to talk, seeing how you just try to jump right onto the head of that big lug without any regard for your own safety. It was an emergency. I wanted to take it out quickly and save Leva. Lena rubs her forehead at the head of steam she was building up suddenly gone. I guess they both got a bit too anxious. 40 laughs and struggles to her feet, pulling Lena up with her. Actually, I wasn't trying to put myself in danger. Things ended up like that because I was startled by that little girl. I was the one who made trouble for you. Oh, that's okay. Nobody could have expected her to summon such a huge pet. But you reacted so quickly, too. No wonder they've had so much faith in you. Having you around is really reassuring. 40 smiles and ruffles Lena's hair. That said, we need to promise each other that we won't be such risky stunts again in the future. Okay? Yeah. Lena rubs her nose in embarrassment. That big ruckus you made just now seems to have cleared the fog up quite a bit. Want to see if you can contact Persica? Oh yeah, you're right. Lena quickly tries to open another transmission channel. This time, the long-sided connection finally goes through. The connection broke again just now. Did anything happen? Looks like it did. Did you find a new data source? Yep, we did. We managed to attach the tracker program to the girl. Oh, that's good. I can start my analysis then. It'll take a while to analyze the data, so keep clearing it for now. Did you get any new neural records after clearing out the most recent batch of redundant data? Huh? Oh, right. I cleared out all those robots, but I was completely unable to find Leva's neural cloud records. What does this mean? That giant robot ate those records? That's very likely. While the map seems to be broken, I can sense the data source moving around inside the fog, and its movement speed is very close to that giant robot's from just now. The map's broken. What happened? We're not sure either. It stopped displaying anything after we entered the fog. Is it because of the interference from the redundant data? I only managed to find the data source thanks to 40's guidance. Yep, I guess it's because I've always been in Leva's neural cloud, so I can sense the rough location of these data sources, even though through the interference. Want to compare with what you have? 40 sends the information on the data sources to Persica. After a brief comparison, Persica nods in approval. While it deviates slightly from the exact coordinates, the general direction is correct, and this info can be used even if the map is broken. So after all that, you're saying that Leva's neural records are still inside the core of that big lug? I should have just taken it out just now. I don't think you could have eliminated it on your own, right, Lena? 40 turns to Persica. Persica, could I have temporary permission to clear the redundant data in Leva's neural cloud? It's too dangerous for Lena to take these monsters on alone. The clearing efficiency would definitely go up with 40's help. Sure, saving Leva is the top priority right now. After a few quick key presses, Persica nods. Right, go give it a try. Make sure you properly ID your targets when using it. Alright, thank you, Persica. I'll use it carefully. This will make things much more convenient. Come on, Lena. Oh, they changed the music up. Lena and 40 plunge deep into the fog again. After taking a few steps, Lena checks the map before shaking her head helplessly. Yeah, looks like that map breaks when we get into the fog. 40, I'll be counting on you for... Woohoo! 40 suddenly throws a grenade into the fog. Immediately abusing the ability to just use weapons again. It blows up several lurking robots, who transform into scattered data fragments that vanish on the wind. First blood. What? What? There are more on this side too. Before Lena can say anything else, 40 raises her gun and shoots in another direction. A burst of bullets spray forth, making a straggler robot go crash into the ground. As she watches the data fragments disappear, 40 skips merrily to Lena. I got another one. Say, Lena, want to make it a competition? You know, see who can eliminate more of these robots. Are we really going to do that? Isn't it more important to find that big monster ASAP Well, you look so serious. I wanted to tease you a little. The big guy's over here. It's not far off. 40 looks into the fog. Before long, a huge shape looms out of the fog. Hey, what do you know? Here it is at last. Let's get started for her. Boom, boom, boom. Wow. I think I slept like 3 hours last night. I ain't getting sleepy already. It's gonna be a long, good day map after this. Miketa is my favorite character. Or Miketa and Diane, really, but appearance Miketa, personality, I think Diane's great. Did she just throw a Pokeball? What was that? Lena and 40 surrounded finally destroyed the giant robot's core. Yay, go team. We finally took it down once and for all. Kaboom! There's a massive explosion. The robot's gigantic metal frame shudders and then slowly crumples into the ground. Lena and 40s hastily back away. However, a small black figure darts out from a corner of the battlefield and runs straight for the robot, as though it's not afraid of being squashed by its falling bulk. Huh. Is that the girl? But why? As she looks where the girl's looking, Lena knows something is wrong. Something shiny and gleaming seems to have fallen from the giant robot's core. Wait, is that... 40, stop her! After firing a couple shots, Lena rushes towards the collapsed robot. Stop! No swiping! After realizing Lena's aim, the girl charges forward and tries to catch up with her, only to be driven back by a burst of gunfire from 40. In the blink of an eye, Lena is rolled up to the robot. 40 follows her, warily keeping her gun trained on the girl. The girl angrily waves her arms at the two dolls blocking her path. I'll be honest, I'm kind of imagining the joke. What is it? You see like the people go like this? Or maybe like this, like, how could you? Ah, that's mine. Man, give me back. How is this yours? This is Leva's neural space. Yeah, this is clearly Leva's. The girl glares angrily at Lena, and then she turns to 40. Why are you helping her when we're... 40 fires another shot at the girl's feet, interrupting her. Well, I don't know who you are. Don't even think of trying to harm Leva. You'd better stay away from us if you want to live. You're bad too. I hate you. I hate you both. The girl stomps the ground harder and harder, but no robots come forth in response. Before 40 and Lena can approach her, she punches the air in frustration and then runs off in the distant fog. Looks like she's gone. She's got quite a temper on her. After seeing the girl leave, 40 finally lowers her gun. Lena bends down and prepares to pick up the shiny object. More memories. This should be the data source. Lena, look! 40 suddenly tugs on Lena's sleeve. She pulls Lena up and indicates the surroundings. The giant robot dissolves in data fragments following this defeat. The fog that's everywhere fades away and a brilliant blue expanse of sea spreads before their eyes. Snow-capped waves gently lap at the beach. In the distance, a Ferris wheel towers over the sands, its colorful round gondolas slowly turning in time with the music. Ah! The fog is gone. It's so beautiful. Yep, I didn't know there was such a beautiful place in Leva's neural cloud. After seeing Lena's dumbfounded face, 40 laughs and bends down to pick up the shiny fragment on the beach. Isn't this 40's dog tag? Huh? Lena looks down at 40's palm. There's a small rectangular piece of metal there, covered in scuff marks made by bullets. The name, UMP-40, is engraved into its center. The letters have been worn down by the passage of time, but the dog tag seems to have been regularly polished, because it's still gleaming like it's brand new. Do you mean that 40, the real UMP-40? Yep, this is one of the few things 40 left behind. I didn't know Leva was taking care of it for all this while. Then, how about seeing what record it contains? I haven't looked through them yet. I think you should be the first one to read something that important. 40 hands the dog tag to Lena. With the utmost care, Lena begins reading the records contained within. Inside the lab, 45 is currently lying inside a repair pod. Perska is standing beside her, carefully studying the data on the screen. In theory, we can extract this simulated persona from your base layer and configure it as a secondary processor core capable of independent computation. This will take up a bit of your internal memory, but it'll help stabilize your base layer. Plus, having an additional core can be quite useful in electronic warfare. In fact, it turned out to be extremely useful. Yeah. However, I must remind you that the simulated 40 you insist on extracting was essentially created by... This is probably very important. While this simulated persona is based on UMP-40's personality and hasn't shown signs of something, nobody can guarantee that something in the future. Are you sure you want to keep her? It's not the real 40, you know. I know it isn't the real 40, but I still want to keep it that way anyway. Actually, the second processing core you want doesn't need to have a simulated persona assigned to it. You can completely delete the persona, which would not only remove this mystery, but it would also simplify maintenance going forwards. Also, if you keep it, you'll have to face... someday. 45, have you really... I know what I'm doing. This is the last thing 40 left to me. Even if it means I don't want to give up on it. How determined. Alright then. I'll do what you said. "45 nods. Perska looks at the monitor and begins typing at high speed. 45 falls silent for a moment before she suddenly speaks. Perska, can you? Yep, it's not often you ask me for a favor, so don't worry. Strings of data fly across the screen. 45 stares calmly at the ceiling, her hand tightly clutched around the battle-scarred dog tag in her pocket. Lena stops reading the memory. Looks like this memory is from when Perska helped modify Leva's neurocloud. But it's strange. Why can't I read the whole thing? Want to give it a try, 40? Lena hands the dog tag to 40. 40 tries to read it too, but then she frowns. Yeah, I can't make out any of the key details. It's as though someone encrypted the records. Also, I just tried to decrypt it, but the encryption system's code is very unique, so I couldn't do it. I don't get it. Is there some kind of classified data in there? Or rather, is there some secret of Leva's inside? Leva specifically sealed it up because she didn't want other people to see it? No. Leva wouldn't be like me and do such childish things, unless... Lena pursels her lips and studies the dog tag again, a look of frustration on her face. 40 laughs, then shakes her head and takes Lena's hand. There. Lena, don't let your imagination run away with you. Perhaps I might know what's in there. After all, the simulated persona they're talking about is me, and this record might be related to the information that led to my inception. Huh? Don't look so down. Come with me. 40 drags Lena onto the snowy white beach and picks a spot with an excellent view before pulling Lena down onto the sand with her. Then she strikes a very storyteller-ish pose. Did you know how I was born? This is the Maldives. Just sunshine, blue skies, and the sea, our promised land. Promised. I see. I think I understand. 45 slowly wipes away her tears. These are all the memories of my time with 40, our most cherished possessions. Which is why you would know all this. That's right, everything about you and 40. Our neuroclouds share a common origin. It's not that difficult for me to simulate a virtual persona that imitates her. Deep down, I've always been hoping that 40 never left me, so I created you in my subconscious, which explains your presence in level 3. Yep, that's it. I'm just a simulation you created. A virtual persona that will never replace your one and only 40. As she gazes out across the boundless blue sea, the gray-haired girl smiles wistfully. Yes, I'm the virtual persona that 45 created. Back then, 45 was forced to bid 40 farewell because of Operation Butterfly. All she managed to bring back from that cruel battlefield was this dog bag. 40 strokes the small piece of metal she's holding. 45 couldn't accept the fact that she lost 40, so she began to consciously rely on her memories and simulated a new 40. In other words, me. I was born for 45, protecting her, comforting her, supporting her, keeping her from ever being hurt by the past again. All these are my raison d'etre. At first, 45 wasn't aware of my existence. I lived in the base layer of 45's neurocloud. It was a dark and lonely place, with nobody around, where every sound I made was swallowed up by the blackness. But one day, 45 fell into her base layer by accident, and then she found me. From that day onwards, 45 would come by every now and then to talk to me. She'd tell me about what happened on the outside, about her worries and frustrations, and give me all kinds of things from the outside world. She even asked Persica to extract me from level 3 to level 2 so I could access information about the outside world, even though it meant eating up her system reference resources. 40 looks into the distance and a smile spreads across her face. My world changed ever since I was released into level 2. Or rather, I should say that day was when I learned what the world truly was. Not just a dark place. Through her eyes, I could see all the people she used to talk about. Squad 404, Kalina, the commander. I saw the pretty houses and lively amusement parks in the green and white zones. The deserts, the sandstorms. The deserts. And elids of the yellow zones. I was really happy. Really very happy. 45 always treated me as her friend, even though I wasn't the real 40. Even if I was just a persona cobbled together out of the data and broken memories. Therefore, I treated 45 as my friend too. My one and only, my realest and truest friend. She changed my world and taught me happiness. From that moment onward, I truly wanted to protect her. I hoped that my existence would make her feel happy and at peace. I watched 45 turn into Leva. As the years passed, I saw how she gathered more and more friends to her side, and how she went further and further with her bravery and determination. Eventually, it seemed as though she'd be able to fulfill her wish from all those years ago. 40. Suddenly, 40 stops halfway through her monologue and turns to look at Lena. Then she cheerfully pats Lena on the shoulder. That's why I'm really glad you're around, Lena. Huh? That's because you're always keeping Leva company. You've always stayed by Leva's side, no matter what happened over the years, and you're always earnest and sincere while doing it. I can tell you, you're special to Leva. Lena pauses and scratches her head in a stiff and unnatural way. Well, I don't feel special. I like to say we're family, but truth be told, I've always been the one plashing myself to Leva, haven't I? After all, in the beginning, I just grabbed a gun that looked like hers and insisted we were sisters because of that. That's hilarious. But you and Leva, you're actual sisters. It was decided from the moment you were rolled out, like a mark that's forever etched onto your frames. I can't compare with that no matter what I do. Is that so? Well, that might be true if I were the real 40. 40 chuckles. But I'm not and never will be 40. I'm just a simulated virtual persona. Right now, my presence is less of a consolation for Leva than a burden. 40's smile slowly fades. Leva will never progress if she keeps relying on 40 and clinging to the past. Take this neural cloud malfunction, for example. If it wasn't because she wanted to preserve 40, Leva wouldn't have insisted on using the obsolete frame, and she wouldn't have fallen short in combat power while facing that doll, which led to all of this happening. Leva's potential growth is crazy. She has like the ultimate psychic warfare, or electric warfare, and then she also can just upgrade to a modern doll and be just, oh man, it's crazy. 40 lowers her head in dejection. Hey, 40, don't go blaming yourself for everything. Leva's done tons of upgrades to her frame over the years, and she's always been a perfectly capable fighter. Her neural cloud was damaged this time around because of that creepy doll. She was using an attack that specifically targeted Leva's weaknesses. Also, if you're saying your fault, then Kayla and I have a shared blame. We shouldn't have kept it from Leva. We should have gone to find Priska sooner. You're right. I shouldn't think that way. 40 nods, looking like she's regained her spirits. She stands up and holds out a hand to Lena. It's decided then. We'll keep looking for the next data source and protect Leva's neural cloud. That's my mission. As 40, let's go. Hey, hang on. Since the fog is gone, let's contact Priska first. I'm sure she'll know about what's stored in the dog tag. Huh? Do we still need to contact her? But I already told you about the contents. That girl from just now seemed really interested in this dog tag, so maybe it really contains really important information. It might help us find Leva. Huh? Is that so? Wow, you planned this all out, Lena. Plus, you might have finished analyzing that girl too. Lena stands up happily, then she opens the transmission channel to Priska. However, the communication attempt fails again. She can't even leave a voice message. What's going on, even though the fog's gone? Is the redundant data still interfering with transmissions? But we got rid of all the data sources too. There shouldn't be any more interferences. Does this mean my terminal is really broken? Or could there be another reason? Lena checks her communicator over and over again. However, she does not find anything wrong with it. After seeing the worried look on Lena's face, 40 lightly pats her shoulder. My guess is that you need to hit a certain threshold of data cleared to maintain comms. We haven't cleared enough data yet, so we can't establish comms. Things might resolve themselves if we keep clearing data. Really? How do you know that, 40? I mean, with Leva's neural cloud being so chaotic and all, do these thresholds and whatnot really exist? It's just a theory based on observing our current situation. Here, take a look. 40 points forward. Wisps of mist can be seen rising in the air not far away. If the fog dispersing represents reaching the threshold at which communication is possible, then I guess that mist represents an unstable connection. It's only natural to imagine you can't establish comms in such a volatile situation. Lena nods slightly in response to 40's confident delivery. That's not entirely a baseless conclusion. But if we can't contact Priska, we won't know when we can figure out the contents of the dog tag. No, I don't think we need to be in such a hurry. 40 smiles, and she looks a little more relaxed now. Why do you say that? You're in a hurry to decrypt the dog tag because you're looking for clues about Leva, but we don't even know if it contains anything we can use. Currently, there aren't many people in Leva's neural space that can encrypt the tag. So far, the only person I've seen besides you, me, and Leva is that little girl. If Leva encrypted the dog tag, then Leva might not necessarily help us find her. Also, the girl can't even speak in complete sentences, so I don't think she's capable of doing that. With that in mind, the dog tag might not actually contain useful information, so rather than waste time on decrypting the dog tag, clearing the redundant data would be a more meaningful use of our time. In fact, not being able to decrypt the dog tag is because of the interference from all redundant data. I'm willing to bet like that. Who knows, once we clear all of it, the comms probably might clear up by itself, and maybe the dog tag's encryption will fade away. You think things will go that well? Lena eyes you and 40 doubtfully, but 40 merely passing his shoulders with a smile. Well, I'm not totally confident of that. After all, things in this neural space are always changing, but seizing the moment and clearing the data is better than just sitting around and waiting. And besides, I'm worried the situation is going to get worse if we don't keep moving forward. Here, have a look. 40 points in the distance. At some point, several large fissures have appeared at the end of the path. But what's that? Where do they come from all of a sudden? Lena looks worriedly at the fissure. Right as she does, more and more fissures appear, and more fogs begins welling out of them. 40 looks at the fissures and shakes her head worriedly. Leva's neural cloud is becoming more and more unstable. We can't delay any longer, Lena. After seeing the worried look on 40's face, Lena nods earnestly. Got it. Since we can't protect Briska, we don't have any other choice. Autobots, roll out. Autodolls, roll out. Starry eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. Maybe do one more right now, or 2 more right now, and finish the rest on Friday? How long is this event anyways? Mode closes 4:22. Oh yeah, I got plenty of time. Actually, let me check to make sure this is just no, it's just combat. The last major event, they had like actual side story because they had the three sectors running around, the 3 different teams. I was just checking if they put a little side story here, but might as well get this done while I'm here. But I'm done. Another one of these. Okay, next one. Mold of unsealing. The illusion can no longer hide the bullet holes, and no amount of suds can scrub away the spilt blood. Luggage is strewn all over the small room's floor. 40 crouches among the suitcases, working hard unpacking them. I didn't expect our vacation request to be approved so quickly. We'll finally be able to see the seaside. I have hiccups. That is a pain in the ass. Okay. Being allowed to go on a beach holiday wasn't very likely, given our current circumstances. It's all thanks to Kaylin. Not only did she help us submit our application, but she helped take care of all the other paperwork too. When we come back, we need to bring extra souvenirs and properly thank her. In that case, should we leave some extra space in our luggage? Let me see. We have clothes, power banks, game consoles, wetsuits, swimsuits, sunglasses. What else do we need? 40 looks up, her gaze settles on the table beside 45. Ah, I almost forgot the sunscreen. Wait. Why do they need sunscreen? Does their skin get bleached, or do they actually, or is the bio whatever they use like actually alive? Wait, what? I've got it all planned out. After we hit the beach, I'm gonna find a beach chair, get my sunscreen on, and then tan for the whole day. So it like really mimics skin massively. Well, that's crazy. 45, make sure you help me apply it. Yeah. 45 replies with a quiet word. She picks up the bottle of sunscreen and heads over to 40. 40 reaches out to take it, but she senses that 45 is distracted. What's wrong? 45, are you feeling sad? No, I'm not. I just suddenly remembered I forgot to pack a few pieces of clothing. 45 chuckles, then turns back to the cabinet and opens the door, pretending to look for something. 40's hunch was right. She's definitely not feeling happy, but she can't articulate why. Her memories of the sea are indistinct. 45 can sense that those records contain bright and happy lights, but for some reason, they seem out of place with the scene before her. Where exactly is the problem? 45 reaches out and makes a show of searching the cabinet, but then her fingertips suddenly make contact with a cold object. Huh? 45 brings her fingers together and tightens her grip around the object. When she opens her hand, she sees a piece of cool metal lying in her palm. Is that the dog tag? Please be not. It's a dog tag. It is. It's surfing worn and covered in scrapes from bullets. Despite that, the name on it is still legible. It reads, UMP 40. Why is 40's dog tag here? Scorching heat surrounds her and thick black smoke fills the sky. 45 takes aim at the fighting that rages around her with her raised gun. An indistinct figure races through the hails of bullets and shells, opening fire as it rapidly approaches 45. 45, look out! Through the heavy smoke, 45 can make out the face of the person running towards her. It's 40. The crisp sound of one palm striking another brings 45 back to her senses. She looks up and sees 40 standing in front of her, hands raised, a smile on her face. Did I scare you? What's on your mind, 45? You seem to really focus on it. I called your name several times, but you didn't react at all. 40, I was looking in the cabinet and found your... 45 stops speaking before she can finish her sentence. She looks at the chest of the doll before her. There's a dog tick there, shiny and chrome. The letters UMP 40, written on it, glitter under the ceiling lights. I'm sorry, 40. My neural cloud, it doesn't seem to have fully recovered yet. It keeps showing me weird records. Oh? Does that mean you remember something just now? I just happen to recall a dangerous situation from our mission. But things were different from how they were now. I don't think you made it out of that operation. 45 surreptitiously hides the dog tag she's gripping in her hand behind her back as she recalls the scene in her neural cloud. Aw, and here I was wondering what was bothering you. Turns out it's just another bad dream. 40 laughs and rubs 45's head. Then she reaches out and hugs 45, stroking her back like she's counseling a child. There, I'm here. That dangerous battle's over and everything is in the past. This place is Griffin, and we're both safe. This is the future you wanted. Right now, the only thing you need to think about is the seaside holiday with me. I've been looking forward to this vacation for so long. I always thought it was an impossible dream, but since it's come true, we need to make the most of it. Don't you think it'd be a waste of precious vacation to keep thinking about the past? 40's gentle words calm 45's confused feelings once again. Yeah, 45 nods and embraces the smiling, happy doll, even as she tightens her grip around the dog tag she's holding. 40 can't unsee it. In the posture, when you rip off the mask, the cliff on which you stand crumbles too. I really want to know. Did they ever make it to the seaside, or is that just the dream she always had and never got a chance to? Lena, over here. Coming. After dispatching a particular persistent, creepy robot behind her with a single shot, Lena catches up to UMP-40 and ducks into an alley. Having lost their target, the robot behind Lena look around aimlessly for a bit before vanishing back into the fog. As she watches the robots leave, Lena sticks her tongue out at them from her hiding place behind a fissure. Oh, beside a fissure. Phew, those guys are really clingy. Then there's that little girl. She was following us so closely that she actually slowed us down. Yeah, she's kind of a pain. No. Leva's neurocloud is in danger. We can't let them do whatever they want to do. 40, let's go with the new battle plan. We'll start by capturing that girl. If she's the one holding Lena prisoner, then capturing her might lead us right to Leva. That sounds tempting, but that girl's been running from us ever since we took down that big guy. How are we gonna make her show herself, Lena? Let's start by finding something that would attract her. Now, what do kids like? Say, what about that dog tag? 40's eyes light up as she points to Lena's pocket. The girl wanted that dog tag just now, right? It's the perfect bait. But... Lena pats her pocket hesitantly. Well, the dog tag is really important to Leva. What if it gets stolen? I doubt that. I mean, that girl doesn't look too bright, and we've already encountered her many times already. All in all, I'm sure we can handle her 2-on-1. No can do. I don't want to gamble with Leva's safety. You've got a point. Let me think. Hey, why don't we make a fake one? Saying so, 40 smiles and holds a hand out to Lena. Would you mind lending it to me for a bit? Lena hesitates for a moment, then she hands it to 40. 40 places it in her palm and covers it with her other hand. A moment later, a new dog tag appears in 40's other hand. A close examination reveals that even the scuff marks and other signs of weathering are exactly the same as the real thing. They look totally identical. I can't tell them apart. It doesn't just look identical. I even simulated a signal similar to Leva's neurocloud. That girl will have a hard time telling that's fake, even if it's by its signal trace. That's amazing. How can you simulate a signal trace that appears to be Leva's? Yeah, pick up a few things when you've been in Leva's neural space long enough. For a decade. Here, you should hang on to the real one. After returning the dog tag to Lena, 40 turns and plants her hands on her waist before surveying her surroundings. Now to find a place for an ambush. With 40's help, the two of them located a dilapidated house. You mean a haunted house? This is it. I remember there was a little shack here. The robots outside have all been cleared away, so the inside should be empty. Lena carefully opens the door. A ghost suddenly drops from above and Lena backs up in a fright. It is a haunted house. Why is this place so spooky? This looks like a former haunted house in the amusement park. Don't be scared. It's been decommissioned after all. 40 picks up the paper ghost from the ground and chucks it aside. Then she drags Lena to the center of the haunted house. After looking around the facilities inside the house, she nods in satisfaction. This house has only one entrance and exit. There are a lot of obstacles for us to hide behind. It's perfect for an ambush. Let's put the fake tag here. 40 puts the fake dog tag on a round table, then moves behind a screen by the table and begins gesturing. I can hide here and emit a signal that's just like Leva's neurocloud data. When the girl's drawn to the tag, we'll jump out and scare her. I'll go camp outside the house then. I'll signal you when I spot the girl so we can coordinate our efforts more effectively. Alright, we'll definitely catch her now. That said, don't get too close to the house. Lena, I would be bad if she discovered us. I'll be careful. Let's do it then. We're gonna capture her for sure this time. Not long afterwards, Lena suddenly hears noises from inside the haunted house. Huh? Is the girl here? But I didn't see anyone get close, and 40 didn't send me a signal either, did she? Lena opens the comm channel to 40 and verifies that the call logs are empty. The outside world is still as quiet as ever. Was I imagining things? Maybe I should wait a little bit longer. Lena carefully shifts towards the rundown house and hides behind a new piece of cover. However, the movements in the house soon grow impossible to ignore. Bang, bang, bang. Actual gunfire. Are those gunshots? Was that sound of a Goliath exploding? Lena quickly opens the comm channel. 40, what's your situation? The transmission goes through quickly. Lena, we miscalculated. The room had secret passage. The girl suddenly came out of it and ambushed me. What? After she ambushed me, she fled through the passage. I chased her and found left behind by Leva. The unstable comm signal makes 40's voice choppy, but Lena immediately latches onto the word Leva. Leva, what did Leva be behind? It's... I can't tell you over the comm, but catch up with her. You'll definitely find a clue to Leva's location. In any case, just come quick. I can't hold her by myself. There's a sudden exchange of gunfire, and then the transmission ends. Lena immediately springs up and rushes into the house. Hang in there, 40. I'm coming for you. After entering the house, all Lena sees is rubble. The old furniture and items inside the house have been blown to bits. The room is empty, but there's a huge hole in the corner of the house, like an inky black maw waiting to swallow Lena whole. 40! 40! Are you in there? The faint sound of gunfire comes from the hole. Lena grits her teeth and jumps in. 40! 40! Gunfire illuminates the pitch-black interior of the tunnel. In the depths of the tunnel, 40 is fighting a fierce battle against the robots commanded by the girl. The girl has the dog tag in her mouth, her petite black silhouette darting nimbly between the robots. 40 is hot on her trail, the girl's trail. Hey, get back here and tell me where Leva is! The girl ignores 40 in her dog's pursuit. She hastes, haughtily waves a hand and summons a pack of robots, which surround 40 and separate her from the little girl. Upon seeing 40 about to be trapped, Lena rushes forward. 40! Ah, thank goodness you came. Over here, work with me. Lena, we need to find a way to force her into that corner. Hey, America. Got it. We'll leave over that first. Head over there first. And go.
聆听这千军万马之势吧，周行日月，地地成变。不躲开了，就算会受伤。依照相关条例，你被捕了。
The girl is forced into a corner by Lena and 40's combined assault. With the girl right in front of her, Lena darts forward to grab her hands. However, the girl suddenly twists away like a snake. She zips away between Lena and 40 and runs off as the robots cover her. Ugh! Damn it! After her! Yep. Lena and 40 run full tilt through the inky black passage. They shoot as they run, taking down all the robots in front of them. They finally close in on the girl again. However, just as Lena about to grab the girl, she suddenly jumps and escapes them again. As she flees, the mysterious girl picks up something black from the ground and throws it at Lena. Lena reflexively catches the object, but then she freezes as she realizes what it is. This is Leva's name tag. Why is it here? Ah, that's what I was talking about. The clue Leva left behind. There's also this. 40 takes out a black ribbon and hands it to Lena. Look at this. I picked it up at the tunnel entrance. Isn't this Leva's hair tie? Lena takes the ribbon from her and carefully examines it. This does look like Leva's hair ribbon, but we're in neural space, so all these are simulated from data, so why is it there? Did Leva leave it behind on purpose? I think so too. Maybe Leva deliberately left it behind to point the way for us. So you're saying that Leva was kidnapped from this place? Lena looks ahead with a worried expression on her face. Thanks to that brief delay from just now, the girl has already left the pair far behind. Ah, she ran off again. We need to catch her. As they sprint after the girl, the two of them finally emerge from the darkness. Phew. We're finally here at last. Lena, you're so fast. Ugh. 40 suddenly grinds to a halt and grabs Lena before they can run past. Huh? What are you... Ah! Less than 10 meters ahead of Lena is a yawning chasm in the fog. It abruptly cuts off the way ahead. Meanwhile, at the end of the path, the girl stands with a bratty grin on her face on the edge of the chasm. Countless robots are climbing at the cliffs surrounding the abyss. 1, 10, 100. Their savage black forms piling up at the line edges of the chasm. Oh dear, this is not good. Lena tightens her grip around her gun, then hears noises from the tunnel behind her. More of those robots are approaching them through the darkness. We've been surrounded. Yeah. Lena and 40 put their backs up against each other, keeping their eyes on the robots climbing up the cliff and in the tunnel. The girl at the edge of the cliff seems to sense their tension at being surrounded. She grins excitedly, waving the dog tag in her hand. Precious is mine, all mine. You just call him now. You two, also mine. So hungry, I'm gonna eat you and the precious. Eat, eat, eat. The girl giggles and brings the dog tag to her mouth, her pink lips split open, turning her doll-like face into a ghastly maw that resembles a Venus flytrap. Her pearly white teeth are like jewels gleaming in the flytrap's heart, chomping and gnashing and grinding. She takes bite after bites out of the dog tag, crushing it into fragments. Ew. Ugh, that's so gross. 40 and Lena watch in horror as the girl feasts. The girl completely devours the dog tag in moments. That Venus flytrap face returns to the doll-like human form. Like a miracle. Holy crap, she's a total monster. How did a piece of redundant data evolve into something like that? You've got a point, but I suddenly realized that you probably shouldn't be worrying about that. 40 looks like she suddenly remembered something as she points a trembling finger at the girl. Almost as she does, the girl who's digesting the dog tag suddenly flashes them a savage, angry scowl. Ah! It's a fake! Why did you trick me? Look out, get clear! 40 quickly pulls Lena down, where they roll across the ground. Right as they hit the ground, Lena can feel a razor-edge data burst hit the ground in front of her. By the time she tumbles on her feet, Lena sees that several deep cuts are crisscrossing her and 40's former locations. They look like they were made by a knife. Ah, what's going on? Is it me or has she gotten stronger? There's no way. That dog tag is fake. Or does she grow stronger taking insufficient data? Before 40 can finish, the girl waves her hand again and launches another attack. I'll eat you all. Every last bit. You baddies. Stop staring at her and run! Lena grabs 40 and prepares to flee, but there are robots everywhere. They have nowhere to go. We're totally surrounded. What should we do? Should we try to force our way through? There's no escape. I can smell it. The scent of food. I'm gonna eat you up one gulp. Nom 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 nom. The girl seems to have realized how helplessly they are and begins acting more and more aggressively. Lena's hand tightens around her gun as she stares the jubilant girl down, and then she surveys her surroundings. Suddenly, 40 speaks up behind her. Lena, I think I have an idea. Look over there. 40 points at the entrance to the tunnel. There's a bumper car among the robots. It looks like it's been abandoned there. I can get that car to move. Can you help me get rid of the enemies in the way? Lena seems to immediately understand 40's plans as she nods. Alright, do it now. As she says that, 40 breaks into a sprint towards the bumper car. Lena opens fire at the same time, dispersing the robots in her way. The bullets clear a small path through the robot horde. 40 jumps and lands inside the car. Immediately after, its headlights flare to life in the darkness. The car traces a serpentine path through the horde as it swerves past Lena's side. Several robots are sent flying while others get pinned against the front of the bumper car. One by one, the densely packed crowd of robots are forced towards the edge of the cliff. The bumper car pushes the robots along towards the cliff. The robots instinctively surround it and pile on. 40, look out! Lena opens fire on the bumper car, trying to drive off the enveloping robots. However, 40 doesn't seem to be bothered by their presence. She hits the gas and drives the entire horde further forward toward the cliff's edge. Pushed by the bumper car, the throng of robots topple like dominoes, falling over the cliff one after another. Even the girl who's commanding them visibly panics and tries to avoid 40 by going to the cliff's edge. Scream! Amidst the shriek of brakes, the bumper car finally comes to a halt at the edge of the cliff. 40 jumps off and barely manages to avoid being surrounded by the robots. 40! Lena rushes forward while spraying fire. 40 executes a tackled roll out of the horde, tossing off a grenade as she breaks into a sprint. Boom. The little red vehicle explodes in a fireball. The shockwave from the vehicle sends countless robots flying. Some of them are hanging onto the bumper car, others are standing on the edge of the cliff. But all of them go tumbling into the abyss from the blast. The enemy formation has been destroyed in the blink of an eye. The girl stands on the cliff's edge, a feral scowl on her face as she glares at Lena and 40. She gives 40 a very meaningful look. I hate you. Hate you, hate you, hate you, hate you. Hate family, hate outsiders, hate all of you. I'll be back to eat you too. Saying so, the girl turns and jumps off the cliff. Wait. Lena runs after her, but before she can reach the edge, the girl's already vanished without a trace, leaving only a fathomless black void behind. She got away again. Well, at least we managed to escape. Plus, we got rid of a big pile of robots too. Did we really get rid of them? Where does this abyss lead to? Lena looks down in the nigh infinite darkness. 40 stands beside Lena and gazes into the abyss with her. My guess is that this cliff is like those fissures we encountered along the way. They're all formed from the instability of Leva's neural cloud. Perhaps it's her level 3 down there? Maybe it's a data recycling area. Or maybe it's just an unknown interstice in Leva's neurospace. But the only way we can know for sure is if we dive in. In other words, we have no way of knowing where that girl's fled to. Right? Yep. And just jumping down there would be too rash. What if there's an ambush waiting for us? But trust me, Lena, this is just a temporary retreat. We'll have another chance at this. 40 gently pats Lena's shoulder. Lena doesn't say anything, just lowers her head and gently caresses the name tag and her hair ribbon in her hand. Feeling down? 40 reaches out a finger and pokes Lena's cheeks. However, Lena continues frowning. Oh, come on. Don't be sad. 40 seems to sense Lena's ejection. She moves in again to console Lena. Say, I think I know how to undo the decryption on the dog tag. And it's all thanks to you, Lena. I suddenly had an idea just now. Really? Lena's hands suddenly freeze up. She tightens her grip on her hair ribbons. Slowly lifts her head to look at 40. You just thought of it? You know how to break the encryption? 40 nods vigorously. A bright smile spreads across her face. Yep, give it to me and I'll decrypt it. Who knows? The secret to saving Leva might be in there. The secret to saving Leva is the dog tag? Lena suddenly stiffens up. Scenes are playing out in her neurocloud, telling her just how strange all of this is. Oh, I don't think we need to be in such a hurry. You're in a hurry to crypt the dog tag because you're looking for clues about Leva, but we don't even know if it contains anything we can use. If Leva decrypted the dog tag, then the info might necessarily help us to find her. Also, the girl can't even speak in complete sentences, so I don't think she's capable of doing it. How do you know that? With that in mind, the dog tag might not actually contain useful information, so rather than waste time in decrypting the dog tag, clearing redundant data would be more meaningful use of our time. In fact, not being able to... okay, let's go about this. After thinking back on all of that, Lena subtly tightens her grip on the hair ribbon she's holding. Like 40 said, the hair ribbon is made of data. It's a clue that Leva left behind to guide her. Lena's been repeatedly checking both the name tag and the ribbon in order to find anything which could help her out. If they really are clues left behind by Leva, then they hold the secret to decrypting the dog tag? Lena reflexively feels for the piece of metal in her pocket, upon which another cold object makes contact with her fingers. Yes, before those two, there was also the bullet that Leva left behind. Lena instinctively squeezes the bullet. She proceeds to compare the data between the hair ribbon, the bullet, and that of the dog tag. However, the further the analysis progresses, the deeper Lena's frown grows. What's wrong? You look really pale, Lena. Are you not feeling well? 40 tries to touch Lena's forehead, but Lena suddenly backs off. I can't. 40, I can't give you the dog tag. Lena shakes her head. If Leva truly encrypted the records inside the dog tag, then this must be very precious, and Leva would have cherished it dearly. That's why I'm going to help Leva protect it. That's my duty as her little sister. Huh? What's gotten into you, Lena? Is this some kind of new joke? I don't really get it. I'm asking for it because the information on it's really important. That way we can decipher the data on it ASAP. Are you mad because I kept you from chasing the girl just now? If so, I apologize. Nope, that's not it. Lena shakes her head again and stares at 40, her expression turns grim. 40, tell me something. Is Leva really being held prisoner by that girl? Huh? Why are you asking that all of a sudden? Of course she is, I saw it myself. But that girl didn't even know how to tell the fake dog tag apart from the real one. So how could she possibly hold Leva prisoner if she isn't at least that smart? But I definitely saw her. 40, are you sure that was Leva you saw? If Leva dropped her belongings in that passage, does that mean Leva's being held by that girl? Neither this cliff nor the passage show any signs of Leva fighting anyone here. Unless... Yeah, you got a point, Lena. Did I remember things wrongly? After all, Leva's neural cloud is very unstable right now. Maybe they passed through here in the past. But there was no cliff, so they went by another route. Honestly, why are you letting your imagination run away from you, Lena? Just give me the dog tag. There's no time to waste. 40 approaches Lena with a smile on her face, trying to ruffle Lena's hair. However, Lena reflexively avoids her. 40 freezes up, then pulls her hand back before smiling bitterly. What's the matter with you, Lena? You're acting weird. Don't you get it yet, 40? Lena slowly takes a step back, looking towards 40. There's a look of sadness and confusion on her face that's impossible to put into words. You said the data inside the dog tag wasn't important earlier, but now you're saying it contains vital information. I don't understand. Why are you doing this, 40? You're supposed to be the person Leva trusts the most, right? That's what I thought, and that's why I envied you. So why did you betray that trust? Lena, what on earth are you talking about right now? Do I have to show you what I mean? Lena smiles bitterly and holds up the hair ribbon. I thought it was weird, so I checked this ribbon closely. And as it turns out, the data structure of this hair ribbon is very similar to that fake tag. Also, the data structure is very much like the encryption log on the data dog tag. However, the encoding method is completely different from the bullets we first picked up. 40 scratches her head in confusion. I'm sorry, Leva. I don't understand. Stop playing dumb, 40. You knew, didn't you? You knew the bull we first found contained records from Leva's neurocloud. It definitely belonged to Leva. You then said the hair ribbon was left behind by Leva, but the ribbon and the bull's data structures are completely different. Also, you said the data tag's encryption was due to interference by redundant data, but the ribbon's data structure and the name's dog tag were both identical to the fake one you made. Are all these really just coincidences, 40? Lena's brow furrows as she looks at 40, but 40 merely rubs her forehead. Lena, are you suspicious of me? Do you suspect that I was the one who kidnapped Leva and did everything we encountered on the way here? You're making me be one heck of a villain, you know? I might have lived here in neural space all this time, but I'm not that incredible, you know? Isn't it possible that this is just a structural abnormality caused by the damage to Leva's neural cloud? Really? I doubt it. Lena slowly clenches her fist. Why were the robots always avoiding you on the way here? The girl seems familiar with how you fought. She managed to escape us when we flanked her in the tunnel. Then on the cliff, she used the bumper car to knock the robots away, but the girl was knocked further away from before, which led to her escaping in the end. Also, the area before the tunnel was just a pile of rubble beforehand, but then you suddenly discovered a bumper car there. Isn't that very strange? That's because I know Leo's neurocloud well. Is it? Since you know Leo's neurocloud so well, how did you not know where there was a secret tunnel beneath the haunted house? You were the one who pointed out the haunted house for the ambush, weren't you, 40? Yet you didn't know there was a tunnel in there. Was that really an accident, or were you keeping it hidden? And isn't it a coincidence that every single action we take was suggested by you? This is making less and less sense the more I hear it. 40 rubs her forehead in frustration again. It was my fault for not noticing the tunnel. I'm really sorry about that. But if you don't trust me, surely you can trust Perska's judgment, right? Perska approved our plan of clearing the redundant data in the data sources. Perska? Yep. Although our comms of Perska haven't been too stable, No, you're not trustworthy precisely because of the comms outage. Lena raises the communicator she's holding. My communications with Perska only started malfunctioning after I met you, 40. And even after we made contact at last, you were the one who's steering our conversation. Each time any information which might be bad for you was about to be revealed, the tradition would be cut off. Actually, there's one more thing. 40, do you feel you're being affected by the redundant data? Huh, me? All that useless data takes up Leva's computational space. Back then, Perska was asking you if you were being affected by the redundant data, wasn't she? But you changed the subject. What were you trying to hide? I wasn't trying to hide anything. I just wanted to give my reassurances to Perska quickly. Really? So just what is this important data hidden inside the dog tag anyway? After I got the dog tag, comms were still cut even after the fox disappeared. I didn't even have a chance to ask Perska about the truth, and Perska didn't have a chance to reveal any information. That would be disadvantageous to you. 40 turns away with a helpless look on her face. I'm right, aren't I? I noticed a while ago, but you were really paying too much attention to the dog tag. The first time you found it, I just wanted to pick it up, but then you dragged me off to go look at the Ferris wheel and the sea. By the time I realized it, you'd already picked it up and handed it over to me. That was when you encrypted it, wasn't it? After that, you've interrupted me every time I wanted to study the dog tag, because you were afraid I'd discover that there was something wrong with it. It's true that you helped me clear the redundant data along the way, which lined up with Perska's mission, but maybe you were just using me? What's your real aim, 40? Do you want me to help you collect Leva's data, or are you trying to use this chance to help that little sister of yours? I heard it, you know. The girl called you family just now. She's always been pretty close to you, hasn't she? 40 rounds her shoulders in defeat. She looks at Lena with a hint of despondence in her smile. So you don't trust me at all, huh, Lena? After everything we went through together on the way here, I thought we were friends. Looking at 40's dejected smile, Lena hesitates for a moment. All the events that occurred along the way here flash past her eyes again. She remembers 40's bright smile when she was counseling her and the dust covering 40 after the explosion. Even now, the scars from that battle remain on 40. But if all that was just a ploy to win her trust, if there's the slightest chance that it could end up hurting Leva, I'm sorry, 40. Lena looks 40 in the eyes, her gaze firm. I feel very, very bad about having to doubt you like this, but for Leva's sake, I cannot trust you. 40 suddenly smiles, as though she can sense Lena's determination. She looks back at Lena, gently shaking her head. I just knew this would happen. Well done, Lena. I can't believe you saw through me so soon. I guess that's as far as the charade goes. However, I've already finished my preparations. A sudden, gentle wind blows from the cliffside. 40 grins wickedly, and then she claps her hands wildly. Kaboom. The moment her hands come together, the Goliaths hidden by the edge of the cliff explode. A chain of explosions thunders towards Lena, ultimately sending her flying. Lena hits the ground hard and rolls 7 more times along the ground. It takes all of her strength to help keep herself from falling off the side of the cliff. However, the after effects of the blast hit her immediately. The world spins, making Lena unable to think. Although she tries her hardest to open her eyes, she can't see anything clearly. I'm sorry, did that hurt? After all, this attack was specifically designed to target your neural cloud data. Unlike those machines, I managed to gain a complete understanding of your data thanks to our time together, Lena. Lena senses someone approaching her with a light footstep through the dust and smoke which obscure everything. A shadowy figure looks down on her immobile body. Then it bends down and takes a glittering object out of her pockets. I'll be taking Leva's beloved dog tag then. No, give it back. Give it back. Lena tries her best to grab her, but 40 effortlessly avoids Lena's grasp. Nope, this is mine. Why? Lena's hoarse words make 40 pause for moments. Looking back down at Lena, she smiles faintly. Do you really want to know, Lena? Alright then, I'll satisfy your curiosity. The figure tosses the dog tag into the air. There's a flash of light, and the murky records from playing it for it clearly before Lena's eyes. However, I must remind you that the simulated 40 you insist on extracting was essentially created by the Parlopi virus. While the simulated persona has shown no signs of trying to take over its host, based on 40's personality, no one can guarantee that it won't in the future. Are you sure you want to keep her? It's not the real 40, you know. I know it isn't the real 40, but I still want to keep it anyway. Actually, the secondary processing core you want doesn't need to have simulated persona assigned to it. You can completely delete the persona, which would not only remove the potential risk of Parlopine virus, but it would also simplify maintenance going forward. Also, if you keep it, you'll have to face the risk of Parlopine virus outbreak someday. 45, have you really thought this through? I know what I'm doing. This is the last thing 40 left to me. Even if it means having to live with the virus, I don't want to give up on it. How determined. Alright then, I'll do what you said. 45 nods. Persica looks at the monitor and begins typing at high speed. 45 falls silent for a moment, and then she suddenly speaks. Persica, can you keep this a secret from the others? It's not often you ask me for a favor, so don't worry. I'll keep this a secret. Lena feels dizzy after seeing all that. How could this happen? Wasn't the Parlopine virus... Even if the 40 was a simulated persona created from the Parlopine virus, why? It's been so long since Operation Butterfly, since Sangvis Fairy joined Griffin, since anyone considered the Parlopine virus a threat. So why now? Oh, what will I do with you? Don't you get it? 40 looks at the doll at her feet. She shakes her head in resignation that snaps her fingers. In the next moment, the long, silent communicator suddenly vibrates. Persica's words voiced through the cliffside wind. Lena! Lena, are you there? Come in, Lena! I'm picking up abnormal data fluctuations in Leva's neurocloud. While I don't know why, it seems the rewrite subordinate for the subroutine for the Palpatine virus is activated by accident. Also, I finished my data analysis. I recognize that kid's data. She's a brand new virtual persona generated by the virus, just like the simulated 40. Lena, the Parlopine virus instinctively consumes and overrides its host programming. You need to get away from the simulated 40 ASAP. Got that, Lena? Another finger snap suddenly cuts Persica's words off. 40 smiles, then bends down and flicks Lena's head. Do you get it now, Lena? There's no reason why I did all this. I did it because this is my mission and my instinct as a creation of the Palpatine virus. That girl and I used to be the same. We're both children of Palpatine. It's just that I was affected by the neural records relating to 40 over time. I forgot my instincts. But thanks to the attack from that mysterious doll, Leva's neurocloud is damaged and I finally remembered everything. I need to thank you, Leva. Thanks to you, I could rejoin my real sister and gather the redundant data in Leva's neurocloud. Oh yes, you've delivered us this precious little keepsake. This is one of the keys to rewriting Leva's neurocloud. With it, we will truly seize control of Leva. How could you do this? Aw, are you mad? It's Leva's fault for being a sentimental dork. When she insisted on freeing me from her level 3 and insisted on retaining the simulated 40 persona, she should have expected this to happen, no? Still, it doesn't matter anymore. The sleeping Parlopine virus has wakened. Both my new sister and I have sealed Leva's neurocloud away. Soon, our neurocloud rewrite will be complete, and Leva will no longer exist. That's impossible. I won't. Lena struggles to grab 40. However, her body feels so heavy she's unable to rise. You've worked really hard for Leva's sake, Lena. Still, this is the end of your pointless efforts. 40 walks over to the edge of the cliff. Looking over the edge into the pitch-black abyss below, she smiles. You know, I've always been curious about just where the bottom of this chasm leads. And so, I decided to make it your new home, Lena. Don't worry, I'll tell Leva that you threw yourself off a cliff and sacrificed yourself heroically to save her. Seeing as how I've lived with Leva so long, I'll allow her to keep her memories even if I rewrite her neural cloud. Oh, and she can mourn you and the dead 40 forever. Doesn't that make you happy, Lena? After all, you've always been worried you can't keep up with 40, haven't you? Once you die, you'll have the same place in Leva's heart as her. Therefore, it's goodbye, Lena. Remember to thank me. 40 doesn't give Lena a chance to speak. She claps her hand once again. That crisp sound is accompanied by deafening explosions from the base of the cliff. Lena feels her body tremble. The ground heaves beneath her. The cliff collapsing, rocks crumble, and dust fills the air. Amidst the thousand beasts, 40 takes the dog tag, pivots lightly on her heel, and leaves. That are blasts. Lena, on the other hand, falls alone into the infinite darkness.
顺利完成任务，嫌犯以悉数待毙。
Alright. I need a break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Yep, I'm not gonna do that right now. That will be all for now. I'll be back maybe tonight. Otherwise, Friday, my 4-day weekend. I get my full long weekend this week. First time in about a month. Have a good day. I'll finish Breaking Butterfly next time I do it, which is, yeah, either tonight or, like I said, maybe Friday. Depends how I feel. For now, though, I need a nap, because I am falling asleep mid-conversations. Also, I need to give my voice a little bit of a rest. Non-stop talking is kind of rough. End stream, rebutton.